season and will begin a 3-game series Friday in Tampa Bay. Over to the NBA as the Boston Celtics fall at home to the Miami Heat 123-116 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler continued his special playoff run, leading all scorers with 35 points. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is all set for tonight with Denver and LA. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
And taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Some debris on the ramp from Highway 18 to eastbound 94. Just heads up with that. Not really affecting your ride on the main line. Volume's relatively light, and we're really not seeing any delays pretty much anywhere, so we're in good shape.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast today, increasing clouds, a high of 65 at the lake, 74 inland. Tonight, rain and thunder showers, a low of 54 for Friday. Early thunder showers, then a slight chance of rain in the afternoon, breezy with a high of 65. For Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 67. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 73. You might have a chance for a quick afternoon cool down. And then on Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 65. Right now in Madison, it's 53, Green Bay 53, Waukesha 52 degrees, and in Milwaukee, it's 53. I'm Debbie Lazaga, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 9:06.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday show on WTMJ. You can find us, WTMJ.com. Our stream is out there. Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We also often, I should say, feature interviews that we do on the show. Got a couple interviews today. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the program. All of our contents, all the time, 24/7, 365. Easiest place to find at WTMJ.com. So, I started my conversation that I'm going to spend about 20 minutes on, this half hour, with Vince and Eric. Yesterday in Washington, D.C., in the nation's Capitol building I was in last Tuesday, looked at some of these pictures, looked at some of the statues, watched a 20-minute film on the history of our country and the importance of leadership, which leads me to my topic du jour. I am sick and tired of people calling Paul Ryan a rhino. You use the term rhino, you look like an idiot. Overused, overdone, stupid. Paul Ryan's a conservative. I understand it's perfectly okay to not like Paul Ryan. Everybody has free will, free choice. But pretend that he's not a conservative or not interested in the good of the country is a foolish statement to make. He is a diehard conservative. I would argue he's probably one of the most consistent conservatives we've had in the States and in this country for a long time, going back to the Reagan days. But now we have this new, muddled, crazy version of conservative, which, for lack of a better description, means you have to believe conspiracy theories, you have to hate vaccines. A lot of things that most of us understand have real imports in our country and in our culture. So yesterday, Washington, D.C., I'm going to play about a minute-long clip here. Former Speaker, 2015 to 2019, Paul Ryan, my congressman when he served as the congressman for the 1st Congressional District, of which I reside in. Candidate for vice president in 2012 with Mitt Romney. I'm going to play this clip. You'll hear former Speaker Paul Ryan. You'll hear current Speaker Kevin McCarthy. And then I'm going to tell you a story about the real Paul Ryan after that.
As all of you know, the speakership was not a job that I sought, but it was one that I was honored to do. To be elevated by my colleagues was a tremendous honor. And for them to do so on the condition that we would offer a bold policy agenda to the country was equally encouraging. You know, people say Congress doesn't get much done, but I am proud of all that was accomplished between 2015 and 2019. I believe our record will stand the test of time. We passed over 1,200 bills in 2 years, and most of them were bipartisan. We fixed the VA. We dealt with opioid addiction. We funded cancer research. We rethought how to better fight the war on poverty. And we reformed our tax code for the first time in a generation.
You know, in the gallery of speakers, Paul's portrait will represent his many accomplishments. But I want you to remember this. A portrait lasts a long time, but a legacy of change lasts far longer. That's what Paul achieved. His legacy of change is all around us. We are so grateful for your service, for your passion, for your decency, and for your principles.
I played those two clips for a reason. Former speaker, current speaker. Because I can guarantee you that Paul Ryan's vision of Donald Trump, or version of Donald Trump, and Kevin McCarthy's are vastly different. Grand Canyon-esque difference between their thoughts about the former president. But for a moment there, in a civil, honest presentation unveiling the portrait of former Speaker Paul Ryan in the Capitol building, they were able to rise above all of that nonsense that far too many people spend far too much time on, whether it's talk radio, network TV, everyday conversations, family get-togethers, backyard parties, uninformed, unintelligent, certainly unresearched opinions about Paul Ryan and other politicians. I don't agree with Kevin McCarthy, but I respect him for what he just did. And one of the reasons why I think Paul Ryan deserves our respect and appreciation as a citizen of this country and as a citizen of Wisconsin is he showed up to work. He got things done. He talked about it in the clip. When bipartisan meant something. You want to use a Wisconsin example? We can't get out of our own way on shared revenue. We can't figure that out. With a $7 billion surplus, we can't figure out shared revenue? Please. Sometimes people just want to argue. Let me tell you a quick Paul Ryan story. Shortly after the August 5th, 2012 shooting, Sikh Temple, Wisconsin, we had a vigil in the city. Thousands of people showed up. One of those people is Paul Ryan. And at one point, I'm sitting in this park building, Miller Park, sort of the center of the city on Howell Avenue, just off Howell Avenue. Elected officials, state, some federal agencies represented, Department of Justice, obviously Sikh organizations, Sikh Temple of Wisconsin. And there's Paul Ryan, wearing a head covering, which we all did. And I asked then Congressman Paul Ryan, didn't even know then that he was a candidate for vice president because he didn't announce till a couple days later. He already knew. Would you like to speak? Governor Scott Walker spoke, other dignitaries, I spoke, police chief, members, individual members of each family impacted by the killing of 6 innocent people that day, and since that time, 1 more, 7 now. And you know what Paul Ryan said? I'm not here for that. I'm here to listen. I'm here to honor those people, those families. And I already respected Paul Ryan, but on that day I respected him a heck of a lot more. It was a personal conversation. Mayor, newly elected mayor, his only job 4 months, and a seasoned congressman, soon to be a candidate for vice president. He said, I'm not here for that. I'm here to show respect. When did respect go out the window? I admire Paul Ryan. You should too. Now save the Trump text. Look, you can vote for Donald Trump if you want to. You have every right. He's certainly popular. Not going to deny that. Right now, I saw a poll yesterday. He's killing the competition for the Republican nomination for president, and he might win that nomination. We'll see. And I'm going to say something here that's going to make people mad. I'm giving you a heads up. Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, couldn't hold Paul Ryan's jock, and that's an old term, but it's exactly right. He doesn't have the intellectual capacity. He doesn't have the communication skills beyond whatever he learned on reality TV and scamming people in his business. Not even close. It's not a fair fight. So when people like Paul Ryan say, I can't get behind this, maybe informed voters should say to themselves, he might be right on that. Unless you're a fan of the nonsense. Unless you're a fan of the constant complaining with no solutions. Unless you're a fan of political BS. Paul Ryan was about business. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything he did. Who gets total agreement on anything? Nobody does. People fought Abraham Lincoln. People fought George Washington, two of the most iconic presidents we've ever had in this country. At times in their political careers, they were insanely unpopular. But through the lens of history, we now realize they kind of knew what they were doing. They were real leaders. Paul Ryan is a real leader. Donald Trump is a bully, a reality TV star who, because of a myriad of fortunate circumstances, beat a very unpopular candidate in Hillary Clinton, who never, I don't care what they said, never had a chance to win that race. Never. If she jumped in again, she'd lose to Donald Trump or whoever the Republicans put up. She's not liked for unfair or fair reasons. Don't care. Not my concern. 855-616-1620. I'm defending Paul Ryan. I'm sick and tired of people going after a person who I think is one of the most demonstrated leaders we've had in the state of Wisconsin and in Washington, D.C. What do you think after this?
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Everything you need to know on your way home.
Milwaukee police investigating a deadly overnight crash that killed 5 people, including 3 teens and a child.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John McCure.
I think he behaved completely inappropriately. Should he be charged with terrorism? Absolutely not.
Sandy Max.
It says to serve and protect very often on the side of a police car. She really was serving.
And Greg Metzik.
The doubters will doubt and haters will continue to hate. But I get the feeling none of that will bother Jordan Love.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Annex Wealth Management. When it comes to your investment and retirement plan, this is not a time to set it and forget it. Not with market volatility and concerns about the banking sector. If you're worried about your investment and retirement planning, it's time to take the bull by the horns. It's time for a plan built by Annex Wealth Management. Know where you are and where you can go based on working with Annex, retirement investment planning, tax planning, estate planning. That's what Annex does. For those of you who are already retired, what a second look at your current plan. The Annex Financial Planning Team takes everything into account and charts a path forward. It's not hard. Go to annexwealth.com, click the now famous Get Started button. I did that, and I'll never regret that decision because they have worked for me. Every day, people just like you are visiting one of their 8 branches or meeting via Zoom, whatever you're comfortable with. Know the difference. Start at annexwealth.com.
Experience fast, affordable family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. With on-site camping, free parking, and free admission for kids 16 and younger, Road America offers world-class racing and so much more. From NASCAR to Indy to off-road UTV riding. You can even host your next company picnic or family reunion. Get the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Or call 800-365-7223. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for 911 Heating and Air, a local AC company that provides affordable, transparent pricing with exceptional service and warranties you can trust. Owner Alex Peterson, old school, puts all the prices right there on the website, no surprises. 10-year warranties on new units priced as low as $32.99. AC overhauls, any age unit, all new parts and services included with a 2-year ice-cold guarantee for $2,500. Visit 911heatusa.com. Call or see website for details.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show.
Lots of texts on my conversation about Paul Ryan. And I'm going to read positives and negatives, because that's what I do on the show, which is different than what most people do. Steve, well said. I agree with everything you said. On the 608, Paul Ryan's tax cuts contributed to 25% of our nation's debt. Unforgivable. Let me talk about taxes for a moment. I'm not going to get neck deep in a tax conversation, but let me put it this way. This notion that's out there, mostly from the left, that says rich people aren't paying enough taxes. Rich people pay plenty of taxes in a lot of different ways. Should anyone pay zero taxes? No. And when I say that for a reason. I don't care if you make 20 grand, you're paying $100. When it comes to filling out that form, you're paying $100. If you get a refund, it comes off that. Everybody pays to be a part of this society. No more free handouts for anybody. You make $1 billion, you're going to pay something as well. Everybody pays. We have written rules for taxation that are, 1, 2 feet high, which is silly. And 2, we've limited the number of people who are actually paying taxes to this small group in the middle, and we are getting bombarded and paying the freight and the bills for everybody else. That's not sustainable. So when people say we have to review this stuff, that's what has to be done. You make 20 grand, you're paying something, $100. I don't care what it is. Comes off your refund if you get one. Otherwise, you're paying $100. You make $1 billion, you're paying something too. You can't write off all your different itemizations and come up with a zero at the end. You're paying something. Everybody pays. So enough of this tax talk. Paul Ryan and Ron Johnson, to his credit, identified these issues with the tax code and the national debt years before anyone else did. This is my frustration with Democrats. When you keep adding things that are free, that no one's paying for, that we can't afford, what do you think is going to happen with that ever-shrinking middle that has to pay the bills? The answer is disaster. Mike, 100% agree. 262. I love Paul Ryan, but he isn't in no way, shape, or form the same leader as Donald Trump. The media, and this includes yourself, has tried to cover up what turns out to be a covert attempt to influence the electorate in the 2016 and 2020 election. Donald Trump won in 2016. Donald Trump lost in 2020. I don't want to break news here, but that's the reality. What do you have to say about that? Nothing. I just said it. See, there's no fear on this show. You can disagree. That's the magic of talk radio. That's the good part. That's the fun part. You can vote for Donald Trump. As I always say, I could care less who you vote for. That's not my business. My business, and what I'm paid for, is to tell you what I think about some of this stuff. Is the media perfect to some of your last comments? No, of course not. We've seen horrendous examples. Russian collusion story. Left-wing media jumped all over that. And the latest reports suggest not much to see there. They're not perfect. But again, I'll put it this way. A free press or getting everything filtered through the eyes of politicians, I'm taking the first thing every day of the week. That's not even a serious question. Matt from Howard's Grove. Interest is the consequence for how you spend your money. Tax is the consequence of how the government spends it. Yeah, we got to pay for things. What I see yesterday, Social Security, Medicare, like 70% of our federal budgets. Should we not look at how we spend those dollars? I know people like to say, well, it's our money, leave it alone. So what happens when you run out of that money? Which could be anywhere from 7 to 10 years from now, which seems like a long time, but it's not, trust me. We need to start using our brains and less emotion. Doesn't mean you can't be passionate. I'm passionate right now because I'm sick and tired of hearing people blow up Paul Ryan. He's got 10 times the brain capacity of most people doing what I do. 262, preach, brother. For the past several years, not only have I had well over $20,000 in federal withholding held from my paychecks, I get a tax bill for $2,500 additional dollars I have to pay. I'm really sick of it, and I'm the middle class. Me too. My wife and I just looked this up. We have paid taxes, paid more taxes, I should say, in April or March, because you usually pay before April. Probably the last 15 years. Do you think I want to do that? No. There's implications to making money. There's implications to being honest on your tax forms, something a lot of elected officials could learn. Steve from Cudahy, wish Paul Ryan would run for president. If it's Trump versus Biden again, perhaps I'll write Paul in. Here's the cool thing about Paul Ryan. Now, I have no inside knowledge. I have no idea what his future plans are. Right now, he's on the board for Fox. He's 53 years old. What are the ages of our current president? Was he 78? Something like that, 79? Donald Trump, 76 or so? There's a lot of tread on the Paul Ryan tires. I don't just say it. When I said it before, Paul Ryan is smarter than most people, especially political savvy, off the charts. Led the way on conversations about how we spend our money at least a decade before everybody else picked up the mantle. And I told you a story before about the personal guy. He's the same way in person as he is in public, which is something you can't say about everybody else. A couple more quick texts before we go to break. Steve, nor does Trump have Paul Ryan's guts or courage. Yeah, no. Steve, the corporate tax rate, which is already at 16% effective tax, now it's likely in the single digits for the country's largest corporations. It costs us trillions. Sorry for the typos. We can argue about tax rates forever. What's fair, what's not fair. I've given you a plan, simplistically, because I'm not going to bore you with, as I said, all financial ramifications of tax code changes. Simple. Everybody pays something. There's no freeloaders. We shouldn't have half the population, or more than that during the pandemic, paying zero income tax. We shouldn't. Sorry, that makes you mad. Everybody's invested in the country they live in. From the 414, I'd love to see Paul Ryan and Donald Trump in a debate. It would show what an idiot Trump is. Paul Ryan would clean Trump's clock. If, and I say if for a reason, because I've seen how these things go. No audience, sit their butts in chairs, one moderator. No more grandstanding, no more rally-esque debates, none of that nonsense, showmanship. Real facts, real information. Give Paul Ryan a chance. Here's a great glimpse at what that might look like. Give Paul Ryan a chance to ask Donald Trump questions and give Donald Trump the same opportunity. Let me put it this way for you. There's nothing that Donald Trump could ask Paul Ryan, Speaker Paul Ryan, that he couldn't answer. Not a thing when it comes to politics. Donald Trump would be hard-pressed to answer a single question, honestly, with facts that Paul Ryan would present to him. Take a break here. I'll continue the conversation. I see Jim from New Berlin wants to jump on. We'll do that probably after the news, so be patient, Jim. Lots of texts. Defending Paul Ryan, not that hard. Defending sanity for Republicans. Something that I've been doing for a while, and maybe, just maybe, the trend is moving and the needle's moving in the right direction. I hope so. Enough of the nonsense. More after this.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Give future generations a connection to their past by securing cemetery property today. Now is always the best time to buy cemetery property because purchasing today is your best protection against rising prices and limited inventory. Whether you choose burial or cremation, we have options for every belief at any budget. Speak with us today about available financing and pricing options. We're Forest Hill Memorial Park. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
3301 East Forest Hill Avenue, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, 53154.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it is free. Coaches, managers, business owners. Check this out. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. You know how this goes. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. So bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, or tennis team, your club organization after practice, or game today for that free pizza. Your kids are going to love that world-class game room. It's fun. It's affordable. Team bonding, what a great idea. Bring in pizza for your loyal employees today. They're going to love it, and half your pizzas are free. You're going to love that. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Stop today for your free pizza with your family, with your employees. I love the pepperoni at the Mineshaft. It's the real deal. The Friday cod fish fry is all you can eat. It's under $10. It's the best fish fry value anywhere. Order your pizza now. Pick it up shortly. Visit MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mineshaft.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
We'll continue our conversation on Paul Ryan. Defending Paul Ryan is the way I'm framing this. Not that I should have to, but apparently, as I say, sometimes you need a cold, hard slap in the face and knock some sense into people's heads. That's what I'm doing with my voice today. Mike is on the line. Jim is on the line. We'll get to you after the break. Right now from our Breaking News Center, 9:31 is our news time. Debbie Lazigo.
Thanks, Steve. A man is dead after an officer-involved shooting at a home in Mequon Wednesday afternoon. The State Department of Justice says an officer shot and killed someone while responding to a neighbor dispute involving a firearm near Bonniewell and Riverdale roads. A male subject exited the residence and began firing rounds at officers. No officers were injured. The involved officer from the Mequon Police Department has been placed on administrative assignment. Wisconsin's Department of Criminal Investigation is now handling the investigation. Wisconsin ranked number 1 in the country for most prescription medications collected during the spring 2023 drug take-back. The Department of Justice says the state collected over 55,000 pounds of unwanted medication. The United States Drug Enforcement Administration began holding 2 drug take-back days each year in 2010, and Wisconsin ranks 3rd in the nation for most medications collected since then. Drug Take-Back Day provides a safe, convenient, and responsible way to dispose of unused medications, and nearly 500 permanent drug disposal boxes are accessible year-round. Deer District's newest landmark opens today. The Trade Hotel, right across the street from Fiserv Forum, will give the media tours today as it opens its doors to the public. The hotel offers more than 200 luxurious rooms and suites, plus destination dining with a rooftop restaurant and lounge. It will also offer accommodations for taller people, like NBA stars. Some rooms will have bigger beds, taller ceilings, and higher countertops. A special ribbon-cutting ceremony will take place today at the Trade Hotel. Time for news about your money on the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is up 22 points. The NASDAQ is up 108, and the S&P is up about 18. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. And taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. It seems to be pretty quiet out there. We've got really no delays anywhere, just a few disabled vehicles. One report of debris on the ramp from Highway 18 to 94 eastbound, but again, it's on the ramp, so you're not seeing anything affecting the main line.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
And checking your WTMJ 5-day forecast today, increasing clouds, a high of 65 at the lake, 74 inland. Tonight, rain and thunder showers, a low of 54. For tomorrow, early thunder showers, slight chance of rain in the afternoon. It'll be breezy with a high of 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 67. And Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 73 and a chance for a quick afternoon cool down. On Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 65. Right now in Appleton, it's 55, Mukwonago 55, and in Milwaukee, it is 53 degrees. I'm Debbie Lazaga, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 934.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
It's time for amazing Memorial Day savings at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on everything you need for summer, like men's Lee Extreme Motion Shorts, just $34.99. New at Blaine's, rewards members save $150 on a Charbroil 6-burner grill, and all Livingston vegetable and flower seeds 25% off MSRP. Don't miss amazing Memorial Day savings on summer essentials in-store or online at farmandfleet.com.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The food is world class, the atmosphere warm and cozy. The staff is super friendly, and your second dinner is always free. Enjoy the Northwoods pan-fried walleye, shrimp pasta, steak and lobster, a big fresh garden salad, anything on the menu, and your second dinner is free. Desserts and ice cream drinks. I love when they roll that dessert tray up to the table. Buy one of those, get one free. Choose from over 100 wines, 20 fine bourbons for a perfect dinner, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will enchant you when you walk in the door. Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, promotion, or retirement at the Fox and Hounds. Your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The drive is beautiful. Weekends may be too busy for some, so enjoy your free dinner tonight. Reserve your table. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's a gem. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. And the Friday all-you-can-eat codfish fry is just $15.99.
Skylight Music Theater presents Super You, showing May 26th through June 18th. Super You is an empowering woman-led new musical celebrating the journey of a comic book artist who learns to love herself and find her voice when her own superheroine creations come to life. Led by an all-female creative team featuring a diverse cast of performers, Super You explores themes of overcoming grief and finding inner strength. Showing May 26th through June 18th, tickets start at $40. Visit skylightmusictheater.org to get your Super You tickets today.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I'm calling it defending Paul Ryan. I'm sick and tired of people blowing my former congressman, our former Speaker of the House, who, as I said, I don't say this to be mean to people, but he's smarter than most people. Let's just put it that way. And when it comes to politics and policy, few smarter. And by the way, if you noticed, I don't know if you got a chance to see it on TV, this shows the power of bipartisanship. There were Democrats in the room as the portrait was unveiled. That's respect and appreciation. And I know respect has kind of gone out the window. I know hate's kind of the buzzword now when it comes to politics. You have to hate somebody because they're different. Families split. Co-workers can't talk to each other, can't work together, can't sit together because of politics, because of noisemakers with microphones who spread this vile every day. Bile, I should say. Let's see what you have to say. Jim joins us from New Berlin. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, hi, Steve.
Welcome to the show.
I share your respect for Paul Ryan, and for me, it's a little renewed. I don't think 12 years ago he was as accommodating to compromise as he is today. But he's shown a lot of integrity in the last few years, and I applaud him. But my frustration is with the media. The media continues to give the Republican reply to national debt, when the reality is, under Reagan, we tripled the national debt. Under George W. Bush, we doubled it. The only president to cut taxes during wartime. And under Trump, he increased it $7 trillion after saying that he would balance the budget. So I think the Democrats, when they propose programs, also almost always propose a way to pay for it. Republicans cut taxes for the wealthy, and they don't propose serious spending cuts. So I think the Democrats get a bad rap on this.
Yeah, I don't want to be fair. Thanks for the call, Jim. Look, he's right. I'm looking at the numbers in front of me. I pulled it up, debt by year. I can see where the president's lined up under Donald Trump. And let's go recent. $19 trillion when he took office. When he left, $27 trillion. That's a Republican. Now, obviously, the pandemic's in there, which I could do an hour on how much waste was built into the pandemic response. But let's clear that out of the discussion. I think really honest politicians have to start saying to their base, the people that show up every election and vote for people based not on the individual, not on their policy, but the letter behind their name. And let's be honest, a lot of people do that. A lot of you do that. To be honest, I probably do that a lot because I voted probably Republican 96, 98% of the time since I started voting many years ago. But I want to be fair about this. There's a lot of reasons for our debts. Policy is part of it. Actual real-life events, wars, responses to national disasters, all these things, military spending. It's all part of this. None of that's easy. But what it requires is Democrats and Republicans, for the most part, there's a few independents elected to national office, to work together to figure it out. An example, I believe that Social Security, Medicare should be examined for effectiveness, should be constantly critiqued and analyzed for fraud. There is more fraud and scamming going on in our country now than ever before. The digital revolution has made it easier. But to be honest, a simple phone call has made it real easy. People preying on other people. There's people who make a living, an indecent living, preying upon the elderly in our country because they simply pick up their phone. That's why I said a couple weeks ago, if you have a family member who's elderly, lives by himself, here's my advice. Never pick up the phone unless it's a family member. Never pick up the phone. Whoever it is that's trying to scam you, let them leave a message and then delete the message. That's the best advice you could give somebody. This notion, this built-in habit that we have of rushing to the phone, people around me still do that. It's like, what is the rush? Why do you care that that phone call has to be answered? That's silly. Mike joins us. Hey, Mike.
Morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm rather passionate on this issue, but I think I'm making the case that some of this stuff is just so silly. We are blowing up people that are good Americans, smart Americans, in this weird defense of political nonsense. And frankly, today I had enough.
Absolutely. You are definitely fired up today, and I don't blame you. Paul Ryan is extremely easy to defend. He's smart. He's thoughtful. He doesn't attack other politicians, and in particular Republicans. And I disagree with the last caller that Republicans haven't offered thoughtful ideas, because one of the biggest ideas of Paul Ryan was to cut entitlements, and that is such a huge chunk of our economy, and military spending is as well. All things should be examined. Nothing is off the table. And I think that thoughtful politicians should heed that.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. And on that last point, this idea that somehow we should not discuss these things, like somehow Social Security is going to magically heal itself. Here's the reality. And if I hear one more person say, I paid in, leave it alone. Most of the people who have received Social Security never paid in as much as they're taking out now. It's just the financial reality. They never paid in what they're taking out. And when you have more people taking out, which is the aging population that we're dealing with, than are putting in on the front end, we're going to have serious problems. It is not only smart to look at these things, it's insane not to. But what do we have? What's the status quo? Democrats have painted this as an attack on these programs. Republicans have said, let's look at this. Some of them not in the right way. I agree with that. Not every Republican is perfect, just like not every Democrat is perfect. None of us are. But a smart fiscal policy looks at everything. including these programs, would carve out 70% of our budgets. There are pieces of Social Security that should have gone away years ago. There's so many different layers, places where people can scam the system. More people applying for disability benefits than ever before. Do we have more disabled? I don't know, but might want to look into it. Not to mention all the unemployment scams that happened during the pandemic, some of which we're still tracking down, which, again, states and the federal government, woeful at detecting fraud in the system. Paul Ryan, just to put a cap on this, going to move to shared revenue, that conversation in Wisconsin next. Paul Ryan understood this 15 years ago, maybe before that. Said, we have to do something. And now, because some talk radio idiot calls him a rhino, everything he's done, his political career, his willingness to step up for Wisconsin and for America is being criticized, I say hell no. We need more Paul Ryans. We need less knuckleheads.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
The Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson presents the world's greatest live tribute show, Legends in Concert, direct from London, featuring tributes to Elton John, Freddie Mercury, Adele, Rod Stewart, and Dusty Springfield. These incredible artists, backed by a live band, deliver one of the most spectacular concerts you'll ever see. Every ticket at the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Order your tickets now. Call 800-477-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. See Legends in Concert, direct from London, live on stage, June 1st through July 16th, exclusively at the Fireside Theater.
Our Milwaukee Mattress Heirloom queen-size innerspring mattress and box spring set is everyday priced at $21.90. We want you to shop and compare because you'll find the same mattress quality at national brand retailers priced around $4,000 to $5,000. Visit our store, shop and compare, and save over 50% on a top-quality Milwaukee mattress from Ken Michaels Furniture, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you. Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Higher quality national brand mattresses cost way too much, but a comparable quality Milwaukee mattress will cost you hundreds less because we make our own mattresses. Get the same quality for less, made locally, at factory direct pricing that will save you hundreds and get you a great night's sleep. Deal directly with the people who make it and shop Ken Michaels Furniture for your new Milwaukee mattress, where no middleman needs no extra markup and real savings for you. In Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, KenMichaelsFurniture.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. There are over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Before I move on quickly, Tex, Rogers is gone, so I guess you got to fanboy somebody else. I'm not fanboying, I'm just telling you the truth. You call Paul Ryan a rhino, I don't have really much else to say to you. It's dumb. Don't say it anymore. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about shared revenue here. The vote in the Assembly yesterday, it passed So more monies for cities, communities, towns, villages. I'm going to play two clips. One is Tim Sheehy. He was on the afternoon program yesterday. So I'm going to play a clip from him, short clip about his thoughts on the immediacy and the relevancy of the shared revenue package. Let's play that.
The bottom line is there's a clear and present danger to Milwaukee's finances. I think we're getting closer to that clear solution. And I think good progress today from the governor and the legislature, even though the bill going through the assembly, I don't think will be the final version. Legislature and the governor have agreed, at least on shared revenue, that everybody will get a minimum 15% increase. And I think the city and county were like at 10%. So that means a little more shared revenue for the city and county, which is good.
So Tim Sheehy, president of MMAC, Milwaukee Association of Commerce, smart guy. What he didn't say, and which I will say, the League of Wisconsin Municipalities represents all of those entities across the state, supports this package. Real leaders, local leaders, where the work gets done, where they have to balance their budgets, all of that, support this package. So I was disappointed to see that, I think in the Assembly, every Democrat voted against this. A bill that's been in negotiations for months, including a representative from our area, I believe it was Deb Andraka, who didn't like the police provisions in the bill. So Robin Voss, friend of the program, Speaker of the Wisconsin Assembly, got up and said this.
Speech about some public policy agenda that drives a wedge right between the very people who are trying to unite us. You know, it has been tragic over the course of the last 3 or 4 years because you know what the biggest threat to the police officers are? Defunding the police and activism on the left. That is the single biggest problem. So if we want to have a discussion about how we support the police, I am happy to do so because we have a shared revenue bill that guarantees money is going to actually go toward police and fire. Hopefully the people on the left are going to actually vote to do what the lady from the 23rd just said, which is to put actual action behind the empty rhetoric that so often is offered by the people on the left. So I am sick and tired of people lecturing us about supporting the police when their actions are far from doing that. So I want to thank the gentleman from the 51st in doing something that is honorable, standing up saying thank you to brave men and women who right now all across our state are taking a chance every day with being killed, with being maimed, with being injured. That's the real sacrifice that's given. And I think all of us should just adopt the resolution, say thank you, and pay the respect to the brave men and women in blue that deserve it and not use it in some political diatribe that goes off on this floor.
And I know that Democrats in the state are upset about these police provisions, right? Quotas. We can't lower the number of police. We are insisting, Republicans, that school resource officers are returned to school districts where they've eliminated them. I'm sorry that makes you mad, but the public has spoken on this issue. They don't want less police. I understand that's been the mantra of police haters for a while now. And again, police aren't perfect. Neither are you. There's going to be give and take here. When you have Republicans leading the legislature, Senate, and Assembly, they're going to ask something. That's the way the process works, to give something. Could we give cities more? Absolutely. Sign me up. But it's a negotiation. Should be the start of negotiations, but one thing I didn't like is the fact that Speaker Voss said the negotiations are over in the Assembly. And as Tim Sheehy said, I don't think that's going to be the final version anyway. Give and take. The League of Wisconsin Municipalities has spoken on this issue. They support the package. If Democrats are prepared to see this go down, keep voting no. And to our governor, who's been on the program many times, if the Senate passes and the Assembly passes a shared revenue package, it's not going to be perfect, but it's a start. If you veto this in its entirety, I'm going to point fingers at you and your administration. You're not going to get everything you want. No one lives in that world anymore. Republicans don't live in that world. Democrats don't. This is a real package, a real bill that has a chance for success, to start moving in the right directions, compensating cities for sending all the money out and not getting enough back, challenging services, challenging police and fire in ways that frankly are dangerous. It's time for action. It's time for real work. I'm sick of speeches by our elected officials. Pass this, make the modifications you can both agree on, both sides, and let's move forward.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scaffidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Now open in New Berlin.
Seth, it's spring cleaning.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Time to give something to Capital customers.
Jason, you can't just keep giving away free stuff.
We can if it helps people.
Let's hear it.
Get a Capital duct cleaning.
Need one at least every 5 years.
And we'll give you a free AC beyondification.
What?
Seth, have you met me?
You're out of control.
Calmer than you are.
A free beyondification when you get a duct cleaning.
Think about it. They're tied together.
No, I get it.
I don't think you do.
I do.
Clean ducts, but dirty air conditioner?
It's like vacuuming a room with the dirt spewing out behind you.
Cleaned and tuned AC, but dirty ducts?
Like sipping purified water through a dirty straw.
So what's the problem?
No, you're right.
I know I am.
But it's
the right thing to do.
Well, that is a serious spring cleaning. You'll breathe clean, healthy air.
And your AC will be ready for summer.
You're still crazy.
Get your free AC beyondification with a Capital duct cleaning today. Call us or go online at callcapitalcares.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station. This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
All right, enough politics for the moment. Let's talk real life. If you're a parent and your kid moves back in, let's say from college, they're 21, 22 years old, move back in. Would you charge them rents? Well, a couple made a TikTok video, and their video has gone viral, where they charged their, I think it was $200. I like the idea, but I'm curious what you think. 855-616-1620. We'll explore that in the 10 o'clock hour as we launch the second hour of the program on this Thursday edition. The news is next right here on WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
All Brewers games are on sale now, including a Memorial Day weekend showdown with the Giants. Thursday, May 25th through Sunday, the 28th. Start the long weekend right at Aloha Friday on the 26th and get a Brewers Hawaiian shirt with a special ticket package. Then take home a Christian Yelich patriotic jersey giveaway on Saturday, the 27th, presented by Chevrolet. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
your tires, and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Cut through the clutter with Axiom, the weekly newsletter from Annex Wealth Management. Subscribe today for 7 insights built and delivered to you every Sunday. It'll help you navigate the markets and the things that affect your money. The Axiom. Sign up at annexwealth.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 10 o'clock, it is 57 degrees. Today, increasing clouds, a high of 65 at the lake, 74 degrees inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. A woman from Washington County pleading for a harsher sentence before the man who sexually assaulted her heads to court.
I am proud to have, I'm going to get emotional, fight this because I don't want any more victims.
Laura Hartley, along with one other woman, were drugged and then assaulted by Richard Barrett in Washington County. However, both the Washington County Sheriff's Office and Hartley believe there to be multiple other victims who haven't yet come forward.
There's many, many more that just haven't come forward.
Barrett was found guilty of 2 counts of third-degree sexual assault back in March, and now Hartley is worried that his sentencing won't go far enough.
The state is recommending house arrest or probation.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
An argument between neighbors leads to a deadly police shooting in Mequon. TMJ4's Taylor Lumpkin.
Investigators say it started as an incident between neighbors.
At approximately 3:30 p.m., the Mequon Police Department officers were dispatched to the 3100 block of Bonnewell Road for a report of a neighbor dispute involving a firearm.
Neighbor just fired a 1032 at the caller while he was mowing the lawn.
When police arrived on the scene, they say a man exited a home and began firing multiple rounds at officers.
9-4 took 3 shots at him. All 3 hit the tree.
That's when Mequon PD say officers shot back at the suspect and killed him.
No officers were hurt, and police say there is no threat to the community. Metro Milwaukee Association of Commerce President Tim Sheehy telling WTMJ the last 2 weeks of negotiations have helped hone in on a bill that he believes will help local municipalities more than the initial legislation had on shared revenue.
The bottom line is there's a clear and present danger to Milwaukee's finances. I think we're getting closer to that clear solution, and I think good progress today from the governor and the legislature, even though the bill going through the assembly I don't think will be the final version.
The state assembly passing that revised version of the Republican shared revenue bill Wednesday night. It's now going to move on to the Senate. A round of police officer recruitment will take place in Milwaukee Friday. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman tells Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth what he's hoping for in new applicants.
It's not about you feeling like you actually are working towards something if you love what you're doing. You ask me why I'm still here. I'm 2.5 years past my retirement because I still enjoy what I do. But I know what I want to do at a young age.
Chief Norman saying he's going to take as many officers as he can get, but he doesn't want anyone serving in the Milwaukee Police Department who doesn't want to be there. Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:03.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
The next time you run a faucet, think Isaiah Rogers. And while you savor that hot morning shower, give a shout out to Edwin Rood. And the trusty toilet? Well, that was conceived by the great Thomas Crapper. Yes, that's his real name. Here at Mr. Holland's Home Services, we celebrate the plumbing legends of the past and perpetually plan for the future. Our proficient plumbing prodigies stay ahead of the pack with the latest innovative innovations. From drippy faucets and clogged drains to faulty sump pumps and money and space-saving tankless water heaters, Mr. Holland's crew brings Hall of Fame service to you. Join us in a 21 flush salute to the plumbing pioneers of the past, including Sir Hugh Dalrymple, who invented hollow pipe drainage, and whose name is also fun to say, but not as much fun as Thomas Crapper. 866-992-1717, or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready for history-making service, we can help.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right?
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
Behind 5 scoreless innings from starter Matthew Liberatore, the St. Louis Cardinals take the game and the series from Milwaukee, this one by a final score of 3-0. The Brewers had a runner in scoring position in 6 of the final 8 innings, but went 0 for 8 with those runners in scoring position. With the loss, the Brewers fall to 24-19 on the season and will begin a 3-game series Friday in Tampa Bay. Over to the NBA as the Boston Celtics fall at home to the Miami Heat 123-116 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler continued his special playoff run, leading all scorers with 35 points. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is all set for tonight with Denver and LA. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Taking a look at your roads, it is your Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic, and it looks like 41 southbound is a little bit of a mess. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic from, it's around Menominee Falls. I'm looking at 124th Street, and it's very slow there for a stretch. It looks like it'll take you about 26 minutes to get from Highway Q to the zoo, and that's about a 10-minute delay. That's the only major slowdown, though. Everything else is looking good, and luckily there are no accidents reported right now.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all of your garden plants.
Come quick to Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek for the best selection on blooming hanging baskets, deck planters, annuals, perennials, and vegetable plants. Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct.
Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Increasing clouds today, a high of 65 at the lake, 74 degrees inland. Tonight we will have rain and thunder showers, a low of 54. Friday, early thunder showers, slight chance of rain in the afternoon. It'll be breezy all day, a high of 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 67. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 73. We got a chance for a quick afternoon cool down, though. And on Monday, it's going to be partly cloudy, a high of 65. Right now in Madison, it's 58. In Green Bay, it's 71. In Waukesha, it's 56. And in Milwaukee, it is 58 degrees. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:07.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
All right, we talked politics in the first hour. Let's talk some real life, real time parenting. Charging your kids rents. Hashtag, what's the hashtag? Parents charging rent. Hashtag parents charging rents. TikTok, which I am not on, nor will be on. This can't be right. The hashtag parents charging rent has reached more than 59.7 billion views. Come on. That doesn't seem right, but that's what it says in the piece I'm reading from Fox Business. Parents, Texas, Erica and Cody Archie took to TikTok to share their thoughts on their daughter, Kylie, who graduated from high school, and began paying her parents' rents immediately after. They told her, the Archies told their daughter, that if she wasn't going to college, which she said she wasn't going to do, and was going to work a full-time job, live at home, $200 a month for rents. Cody says this, the purpose behind charging her rent was to get her to realize that everything is not free and start to prepare her for adulthood. As you're going into the workforce, you're going to have to be responsible for your own rent and food, he said. Now, everybody who's ever paid a bill for rent or mortgage knows $200, that's like 1970s pricing. It's not realistic, but it certainly makes a statement. and if you listen to the show, you know I've been critical. One of the biggest things that's changed in this country is allowing kids to remain on their parents' insurance till, 26? Makes for a lot of lazy kids, a lot of basement dwellers. Should parents help their kids? Absolutely. But at some point, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, you kind of move on. 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talk and text line. I like the idea. It teaches financial responsibility. It teaches that there's no free rides. Now, I'm also not advocating that parents charge their kids, their adult kids, what does a single apartment cost now? $1,500, $1,800, something like that. I'm not saying you do that. Because one of the things you give up with a basement situation is the freedom that your own apartment would give you. But figure that out on your own. Greg joins us from Mequon. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, you know what? I've had one of those daughters, when they lived with you in high school. You come home at night, a long day at work, and you get home and it's late in the fall. They got the lights on, everything in the whole building.
Right.
Everything is on. Lights
Yes.
everywhere.
Uh-huh.
It comes to be summertime. You come home from work, long day, and it's been hot out. You come in and it's freezing, below freezing in the house. And my bills are skyrocketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, here she goes. She goes off to college. Well, they have no concept there. You're not paying an electric bill, et cetera, when you're in the dorms, et cetera. And so, she went on to school. She has a nice career, but before she started her nice career, she said, Dad, hey, can I come home? Can I live at home with you? I said, sure, but you're going to have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, what do you mean? I said, you know the way it goes. Lights on. In the summertime, the air conditioner is blasting. She goes, okay, I'll pay it. So we get into it like 3 months into it, and it's hot outside, et cetera. And I'm coming home, and she's got it blasting away. Well, lo and behold, a month later, the bill comes in. I go, well, here you go, honey. You got to pay the bill. Why is it so high?
Yeah, because you
What's
just
going
left
on?
it.
I said,
You
well,
blasted it.
Right, exactly. So this goes on. Well, lo and behold, she starts to learn. In the wintertime, the heating bill, et cetera, she starts learning. She goes, hey, I get home. She goes, Dad, you're going to have to put a sweatshirt on because I got the heat. I turned the heat down.
Life lesson.
So she learned a lot in that time. Life lessons. The best part of it all, though, was when she got married, I gave that money. I kept putting it away, and I said, here's some money for a honeymoon. You earned it. This is your money. We'll have some fun with it.
I love that story, Greg.
That's it.
So you taught her a lesson, and then you rewarded her for kind of learning the lesson.
You got it.
Love it, Greg.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, man. Sorry to cut you off. That's exactly right. We have coddled kids for too long. Now, again, I'm not advocating that you don't do anything for your kids. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. Help your kids. But we have gotten away from any kind of fiscal responsibility. As I mentioned before, the insurance thing is crazy. There's no surprise that kids are living in their parents' homes till they're 30 years old, when for a big chunk of that, you don't even have to pay for your own insurance. And in many cases, you're not paying for a room and board. You're a hopefully fully functioning adult, consuming food, consuming air conditioning and heating, and all the benefits of a home or apartments without having to pay the bill. How is that responsible? I would love to have someone argue this with me. So I made it my Twitter poll today because this is one of those, for me, a no-brainer. That we have to start figuring this stuff out. We have to start teaching our kids. So the hashtag parents charging rent on TikTok has gone viral, as I said, prompting a conversation about how much parents should help their adult children. Would you charge your child rent if they moved back in? Gave you a couple choices. No reason to. A somewhat surprising 31% of you with 150 votes already. Thanks for those. Yes, of course, 27%. Sure, if it's long-term, if I add those two up, some quick math, 62%. That seems right to me. You can join us in that conversation and in the poll on Twitter at 620 WTMJ or at WTMJ Steve. Give me a follow if you could. Just went over 5,000 followers. Thanks to each and every one of you for paying attention to what I'm saying. You can also learn things about the show if you follow me on Twitter. So if you're not on Twitter, which I often say facetiously is probably a wise life decision, you can vote on my poll informally on our Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. What do you think? Should we be charging rent to our kids when they move back home? They're not kids anymore. They're adults. I say yes. What say you?
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I got no FOMO for your show, Mo.
See the world from his perspective.
The chutzpah on this guy to bring ribs onto the plane and then eat them. I can't think of anything worse.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
I like a little mayo on the bottom.
Oh,
it's actually bad.
What are you, French?
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Educators Credit Union. I love Educators. I'm a member, joined last year, absolutely love it. On behalf of all of Educators Credit Union, they would like to express their sincere gratitude to all the public safety professionals. Despite the obstacles you face every day, you continue to make the selfless decision to show up and serve local communities. The care, courage, and commitment it takes does not go unnoticed. Thank you for taking the time away from your family to protect and support and care for ours. Thank you for all that you do from Educators Credit Union. You can find out a lot more at ECU.com.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast, to making time for stargazing as a family, and to imaginations cleared for takeoff. Here's to festies with besties, and singing along to your favorite song. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Lots of texts on my conversation about paying rent, kids paying rent to their parents. You can join us on the phone as well. The Old National Bank talk and text line. Lines are open at 855-616-1620. Don't forget, we have a Ringo Star giveaway. Not yet. Not yet. Hold those fingers. Don't start hitting those numbers. We'll do that some points between now and noon today. Second to last chance to win a pair of tickets to see Ringo Starr, Miller High Life Theater, September 30th. On us and the Miller High Life Theater. From the Old National Bank talk and text line. Let's see, 414. The insurance thing is a whole other thing, but yes, charge rents. From the 414, I have a friend whose child moved back home. They charged him monthly rent and then gave all that money to him when he moved out. Yeah, the caller just mentioned that. It's a great example. A reward for good behavior. From the 616, I waited until my daughter was 25. When I told her she needed to start paying rent, she immediately declared she was moving out and then asked me to pay for her wedding. Kids ask for a lot of things, don't they? I did when I was young. My parents were very nice. Let's see, 262. After college, this is from the 262. After college, I told my kids they could move home for a year and pay rent. If they moved out in 6 months, I gave the rent back. 2 of 3 left in 6 months. They had a plan. Let's see what Mark and Jackson's plan is. Hey, Mark.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, man. What do you think?
Most definitely. I charge my son $500 a month. That includes his cell phone, his insurance on his vehicle, and I even charge him for the health insurance difference between a self-only and a family plan.
Interesting. How old's your son,
And
by the way?
He is 25, and he has no problem paying it.
Yeah, because he's getting a deal. You know that.
Oh, yeah, and he knows it too.
Yeah. Interesting.
And he has free reign of the house, but by the same token, he has certain things that he has to do around the house as well. He is a part of our household.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious if you ever have this conversation with peers, your parenting peers. Is this something that's common? Are people charging their kids or not charging?
I would dare say that most people don't, and if they do, they don't charge hardly anything at all.
I don't like that. I think I think we should charge.
Oh, most definitely. We have a neighbor down the block. Their kid graduated from college a year ago. They're still working the same part-time job because they're not sure they like the degree that they got when they went to a 4-year college. And
I've heard that
they're
one before.
Like, well, do you really want to charge them rent? And it's like, yeah. They need to learn how to adult.
I love it. Thanks for the call, Mark. Yes, that's it. Learn to adults. Now, I never had to deal with this. My daughters, they went away to school. They wanted to live on their own. And except for a week or two, they didn't really come back home. I think it teaches independence. It teaches responsibility. From the 262 on the old National Bank talk and text line, both of my kids were allowed to stay home rent-free as long as they were saving their money to buy a home, which they both did. That's probably, I know a lot of people that's the situation they were in. Said, here's what we're going to do. I know that you have to come up with a down payment, whatever that is. We will not charge you as long as that money's going to that. And there's ways of monitoring that, I suppose. And this is all just anecdotal. I'm guessing that one of the problems we have in this country, this is just me as an observer of our culture, we have too many younger adults. Society says you're an adult at 18. Unless it's drinking, which is 21, which is a whole other conversation, which we're going to get to at some point. But yet you are not an adult when it comes to fiscal responsibility. You're not an adult when it comes to making your own way in the world. You're not an adult when it comes to having a house or an apartment or electric bills or insurance. And we've made that easier. For the life of me, I have no idea why it was so important to move that age of insurance under parents' plans to 26. It makes no sense to me. You encourage dependency, not independence. Scott joins us from Slinger. Hey, Scott.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What do you think?
So my parents charged us rent, but what they did, unknowingly to us, they put it in a savings account, and when we left, we received that savings account as money to get started with.
Yeah, I love that. Because, as I said before, it rewards good behavior.
We had no idea they were doing it until we left the house.
And if you want to say you don't have to, like how much are we talking?
This was back in the 80s. They were charging us like $100 a month.
Yeah, so what did it add up to, $1,000 maybe?
Well, I was there a couple of years, but but yeah, a couple $1,000 when you left. It was a good start for you.
Which in the 80s was a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, Scott. Yes. See, I have no objection to that. If you want to give it back, you've taught the lesson, they've learned, hopefully, from the experience, and now you're rewarding them for that great behavior. From the 414, the insurance thing is a whole other thing, but yes, charge rent. Yes. From the 414, I graduated from college in 77. My parents charged me $80 a month. So I'm trying to think. I think I moved out in 77, 77. My rent was $125 a month. So 80 is a deal. I didn't know I had a flat in Cudahy. I didn't know it at the time, but they saved the money and gave it back to me to pay for our wedding. Again, I love that idea. If you just tuned in, we're talking about this viral hashtag about parents charging rent to their kids to move back home, to live at home. I'm a big fan of it. And I think that's something that maybe we need more of. 414, I'm 28 years old, work remotely from my mom's house. She doesn't charge rent, which helps me save money. Our deal is that I help with projects and upkeep around the house and buy groceries. So you've bartered it. Instead of cash, you've bartered it. And actually, you're spending some cash because you're buying groceries. Buying a house right now is not practical for me, so I'm saving to solo travel for a couple of years. Just on that. Now, this is actually going to come up in, that's what Steve said later. I get the travel thing. I actually advocate for that. A couple of years of solo travel, I'm not so sure that's just not self-indulgent. I get why you want to do it because it's fun. Let's see, one more before we get to break here. From the 414, my son wanted to come home after college. We said no, but we would subsidize his rent if he couldn't find a roommate. He found a couple of guys to share the rent. He found a job, even got his own place, is a happy, well-adjusted married man. Make them grow up. Help them and encourage them. Do not let them come back. Recipe for disaster. We as parents have seen friends make this mistake. I love the honesty out there today. This is real life, real time. Of course you should be charging your kids rent. Doesn't mean you can't give it back to them. Doesn't mean any of that. It means you're sensible. It means you're responsible, as is your child. It means you're learning. They're learning. And maybe this barter or this arrangement makes for a better relationship, because we've seen that suffer over the years as well. Bottom line is, if you're 30 living in your parents' basement, move. Enough. Get on with it. Quick break.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for 911 Heating and Air, the AC company that stands by their craftsmanship. With an AC overhaul that includes a 2-year ice-cold unconditional guarantee on the entire system, not just the work that was done. They'll fix all refrigerant leaks, replace all faulty parts and components, and bring your unit back to life, warranted and guaranteed for 2 years. Trust the folks I trust for my heating and air needs. Call 414-HEATING or visit 911heatusa.com. Call or see website for details.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters: winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Gabe Colasari is the IT manager at R.J. Schinner, the redistribution specialist. Gabe, R.J. Schinner is a Wisconsin-headquartered company, just like James Imaging Systems.
Yes, we're also nationwide, so we're able to get support at all our other locations that we have with partners that they've partnered with.
Simply put, Gabe, you can trust James Imaging Systems here, there, or just about anywhere.
Yep, they're the imaging professionals. It's something that we don't have to worry about. So, yeah, we want that trusted partnership.
James Imaging Systems, Toshiba copier printers, managed print services, document management software.
It's a one-stop shop. We have other projects we're going to be working with James Imaging on besides just printers.
Start your trusted partnership with James Imaging Systems today, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Just to give you a quick look ahead on the show. So that's what Steve says coming up at 11:08. Don't forget, gift card available from Mind Chef Restaurant for a lucky winner. 5 questions that could change your life. 5 questions directly tied to the show that I do every day. So the questions are real things I said. I'll give you 3 possible choices. Multiple choice, you pick the winner. No one's ever gotten all 5. We've had a lot of 4s. So maybe today's the day we break that record. Coming up a little bit later this hour, a question. It's a Scaffidi-ology, actually. So a bit of a lecture, tongue-in-cheek. Should your soulmates, I got this from a real story, real-life story. Should your soulmate be a pet? I have strong thoughts on that. Some of you may even know what I think before I say those words. Soulmates, pets. And then coming up at 10:35, I've had him on the show before. Love the Omaha Steaks story. The CEO of Omaha Steaks, Todd Simon's going to join us. Got a great promotion coming up. Look, I was a customer before I was ever a spokesperson. I love their stuff. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a video this weekend of me cooking some of their great products. I love this. He's going to join us, Todd Simon. Family-owned. I think it's 5 or 6 generations. We'll get to all the details and some of the fun stuff with Todd Simon. After news break, our time here is 10:30. From our Breaking News Center, Wyatt Barmore-Pooley.
Thanks, Steve. A man is dead after an officer-involved shooting at a home in Mequon on Wednesday afternoon. The State Department of Justice says an officer shot and killed somebody while responding to a neighbor dispute involving a gun near Bonnewell and Riverdale roads. A male person exited a residence, began firing rounds at officers. This after a 911 call made by the neighbor who said he was shot at. No officers were injured. The involved officer from the Mequon Police Department, he's been placed on administrative leave. The Department of Criminal Investigation for the state of Wisconsin now handling that investigation. Wisconsin ranking #1 in the country for most prescription medications collected during the spring 2023 drug take-back. The DOJ says the state collected over 55,000 pounds of unwanted medication. The U.S. DEA has begun holding those 2 take-back days each year since 2010. Wisconsin ranks 3rd in the nation for most medications collected since then. It provides a safe, convenient, and responsible way to dispose of unused medications, and nearly 500 permanent drug disposal boxes are accessible year-round. And you won't need to cross the Atlantic for a taste of the British Isles, a restaurant inspired by the United Kingdom and Ireland expected to open at Bayshore this summer. Featuring classic dishes like fish and chips and shepherd's pie. Buchanan's will feature Scottish, Irish, and British dishes, along with an extensive collection of whiskey, craft beers, and bourbon. That restaurant will open on the 2nd level of the rotunda across from the new ACX Cinemas at Bayshore. That's also set to open later this year. Time for news about your money. It is the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, and it looks like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ both up. The Dow down, but just a little bit. The Dow is down 44 points. That's a little bit, like it's 0.13%, so not down too much. S&P is up 19. That's about 0.5% up. And the NASDAQ is up 134. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads, it is your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic, and it looks like we're still seeing that at 41. We got a caller coming in saying it was due to some paving work that's going on there, and that is bringing it down to 1 lane in places. We're seeing those backups. 41 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo now take you 33 minutes. That is a 17-minute delay. So definitely, if you can avoid 41 right now around Good Hope Road in Menominee Falls. Everything else still looking good. No major slowdowns or delays other than 41, and still no accidents reported.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton Avenue, 23rd in Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Increasing clouds today, a high of 65. Tonight, rain and thunder showers, a low of 54. Tomorrow, those thunder showers will see early, slight chance of rain in the afternoon. It'll be breezy with a high of 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 67. Sunday, also mostly sunny, a high up to 73. We do have a chance for a quick cool down in the afternoon. And on Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 65. In Appleton, it's 58. In Mukwonago, it is 61. And in Milwaukee, it is 59 degrees. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News, time 10:33.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
So you have your down payment in mind and you're ready to buy your new home. You figure your monthly payment, add in your taxes, and realize, hey, you can do this. But you forgot the 6% commission that you'll have to pay your real estate agent. Whoa, 6%. That's a lot, especially when we'll sell your home for as low as 3.5% and no higher than 3.9%. And that's 100% full service with no upfront fees. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com. Don't let the term discount real estate agent throw you. All it means is that we'll give you the same experience, expertise, and know-how as the big-name real estate firms, but we'll do it for less. And when you weigh 6% commission against as low as 3.5% and no higher than 3.9% for a full-service real estate agent, including full MLS marketing with no upfront fees, you'll realize there's no reason for you to pay more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I've been looking forward to this conversation all week. I love talking about Omaha Steaks. We got a great promotion coming up for Father's Day, but we don't need a holiday to celebrate Omaha Steaks. And we are lucky to be joined. I think it's the second time he's been on the show. Todd Simon joins us from Omaha Steaks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday.
Great to be with you, Steve, and great soundtrack.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I love this. I was reading some of the stuff on you, and you. I don't know if the company called you this or you call yourself this. You're the company's chief steak evangelist. I love that.
Well, it's been my family business. You mentioned in the teaser, 5 generations, 106 years. So if there's anybody who can evangelize about steaks,
you're the guy.
I think I'm qualified. And one of the things that I've gotten to the point where I just cook steaks, by a sense of, by sort of a sixth sense.
Sure.
I don't, but actually that's not true. I still use a meat thermometer. Like
So do I.
normal mortals.
You want it perfect. So here's
I do. Nobody can you can't come to the steak guy's house for dinner and get an overcooked steak. That would be an embarrassment.
That would be
brand.
Yeah, that's a high standard actually. So I wouldn't want to be that guy. So here's a dazzling detail that you guys dropped on me. 82% of dads want a steak or burger for their Father's Day meal.
Right. We work with Harris Poll every summer to conduct some surveys about summer grilling and Father's Day. And this year we asked some questions around that. 8 out of 10 dads said they want steak or burger for Father's Day dinner. And, not surprising, what we're finding is that dads are valuing experiences over things. So gadgets and tools are no longer the gifts dad want. Instead, they want a great steak meal, oftentimes one that they're going to cook for their family to share with their family. And that's, so when you give Omaha Steaks for Father's Day, you're not just giving meat in a box. You're giving a chance for dad to show off his grill chops to the rest of the family and to his friends and neighbors.
Yeah, he can celebrate at his grill on Father's Day. It's the perfect scenario, which I will be doing literally on Father's Day this year for my family, extended family. So a lot of people ask me this question. Why do you love Omaha Steaks so much? And I always say, I don't just say stuff to say stuff. I have to love the product. I was a customer before I've been talking about it as a spokesperson. Tell us, as the leader of the organization, the evangelist, steak evangelist of the organization, what's the Omaha difference?
Well, first of all, 106 years worth of experience. And then, you team that with the fact that all of our steaks are crafted with care by master butchers, so they're consistent quality in every single steak. And then all Omaha steaks are naturally aged for at least 28 days for maximum tenderness. And after those steaks are aged, they're hand cut by those master butchers, they're vacuum sealed for freshness, and then they're flash frozen at their peak, which basically puts that steak into a state of suspended animation. So when you thaw it out and cook it at home, it's going to be absolutely perfect. And we back all that up with my family's 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely thrilled for any reason, we'll give you your money back or replace the product. So, and we couldn't do that if we weren't 100% confident that you were going to be blown away by the Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, and I've been a customer, as I said, for a long time. I probably ordered 50 times from Omaha Steaks. And it's not just about steaks, but there's a lot of other things.
Sure. I mean, we have, if you go to, when you go to omahasteaks.com and use your promo code for $30 off, what is that promo code?
WTMG.
WTMJ. So you do that, use that promo code, you get $30 off your order. You're going to see a whole series of curated bundles, and those bundles include not only Omaha Steaks filet mignons or top sirloins or New York strip steaks, but also pork chops, chicken breasts, our amazing desserts like the caramel apple tartlets, our amazing side dishes like the scallop potatoes, of course Omaha Steak seasoning, which I highly recommend that you use on your steaks. We have seafood, we have lamb, we have veal, we have our top of the line private reserve line, we have tomahawk ribeyes, you name it. We've got it at Omaha Steaks, and anything that's going to make your grill shine, we're like software for your hardware.
You got all the lines today. I love it. So here's the deal. Here's one of the deals. I'm gonna have you break down another one that's really awesome for Father's Day. $30 off the $149 order at omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code WTMJ. I was just reading the ultimate Father's Day gift. Let me just run through this, and then I'll get your comments. 4 butcher's cut filet mignons, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 boneless pork chops. The pork chops are absolutely amazing. One of my favorite pork chops that I've ever had. Filet mignon burgers, 4. And dessert included, caramel apple tartlets, seasoning included, and, by the way, Applewood smoked steak cut bacon, $149.99, and you can get $30 off. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, right. I mean, one of the things we're trying to do with these packages is, first of all, we want to give our customer family an amazing value. I wasn't exactly counting, but a lot of these curating packages have anywhere between 16 and 30 portions of protein, whether that's burgers or hot dogs or steaks or chicken breasts or pork chops. And by the way, thank you for the compliment on the pork chops, because we take a lot of pride in our pork, and we sell a lot of it. And it's really, I've come around to being a real pork chop lover, over the years because of the delicious lean pork that we sell. But you're going to have between 16 and 30 portions of protein, plus some side dishes, plus some desserts, sometimes some seasoning, sometimes some appetizers. So all that's included, and oftentimes even free shipping on top of that. So you're getting really an amazing value. And what we're seeing is a lot of our customers will buy a package of that for Dad for Father's Day, but they'll also buy one for themselves to keep in their freezer, because they know that when their freezer has Omaha Steaks in it, whenever people drop by or they don't know what to do for dinner or they're just planning a cookout, they've always got it. It's the ultimate convenience.
It is convenient, and we just had chicken from our freezer last weekend, and it was absolutely delicious. I've never had a bad steak, burger, chicken, whatever from Omaha Steaks. The deal's easy. The promo code WTMJ, $149 order, $30 off. Great deal. All the great products. Todd, I always love talking to you. Give us a parting comment that pushes us to enjoy what'd you say, 80% of dads want steak or burger for Father's Day. Points us in the right direction.
Well, I think the number one word here is togetherness and reconnecting. We spent the last couple of years, kind of far flung and separate. We're starting to get really, really back into it. I think we're getting fully past that time when we couldn't be together, and now's the time to really enjoy that, to really revel in it, and to really get a chance to bring your family and friends together. So, I mean, I think that Omaha Steaks is blessed to be able to play in that business of bringing families together around the dinner table and around the grill, and it's just an exciting time.
I love it. Always enjoyed the conversation. Todd Simon from Omaha Steaks. omahasteaks.com, promo code WTMJ. Thanks for joining us, Todd.
Thanks, Steve, and happy Father's Day, and happy Memorial Day, and happy summer cooking to everybody.
I love that. Thanks to Todd Simon joining us from Omaha Steaks. I said WTMJ promo code, easy to do. I'm not just a spokesperson. I'm a customer, and I think that's the value there. And as I read through that one list, my mouth was watering because that's an amazing list of products you get. And after the promo code, $30 off, $119. OmahaSteaks.com, promo code WTMJ. Check it out. We'll be talking about it all the next month as we lead up to Father's Day. Quick break.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
The Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson presents the world's greatest live tribute show, Legends in Concert, direct from London, featuring tributes to Elton John, Freddie Mercury, Adele, Rod Stewart, and Dusty Springfield. These incredible artists, backed by a live band, deliver one of the most spectacular concerts you'll ever see. Every ticket at the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Order your tickets now. Call 800-477-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. See Legends in Concert, direct from London, live on stage, June 1st through July 16th, exclusively at the Fireside Theater.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Heiser Automotive. You know I love talking about Heiser. I always talk about the vehicles I drive. Right now, I had a new vehicle. Now I'm in a pre-owned Lincoln Corsair 2021 low mileage, all-wheel drive, perfect for our weather. Every day is different. We know it's Wisconsin. What do they call it? Pneumonia front. Doesn't matter. Snowstorm. We're not going to have any more snowstorms this spring or summer, hopefully, knock on whatever that is. But all the great features of Lincoln, and I can tell you, having driven all their models, it's the best ride, the most comfortable ride, smooth, whatever the road conditions. And here's what they'll throw in. Pre-owned, full tank of fuel, fresh oil, new wiper blades. Guaranteed. That's why I love Heiser. As I said it before, I was a customer before I was a spokesperson. I bought a car from Heiser. No hidden market adjustment fees, honest pricing, great customer service, 5 great locations. You can check it out at Heiser.com, HeiserFord.com. That's why they say every day, you know what's coming? Today's your day.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family priced. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
While going over a new client's statements from one of the big financial firms, I was floored when I read that firm does not offer tax or estate planning advice, because we know that saving money for our clients on their taxes, legally and well within the law, can make a huge difference in their financial plan. If you want to wisely build your wealth, it is my firm opinion that without a comprehensive approach, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. At Financial Strategies, Inc., we're taking a deep dive and creating comprehensive strategies that develop your retirement, investment, and your tax and estate planning. And all under a fee-only structure that means the success we care about most is yours. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to FinancialStrategiesInc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Good morning, class. Good morning, class. Class.
Sometimes even I get startled by Sister Mary Elephant. Thank you, Cheech and Chong. Thank you, Sister Mary Elephant. Yes, Scaffediology. All right, so I first of all, I'll preface my comments. I'm not a pet hater. Well, I like dogs. I'm not thrilled about cats. Cats do nothing for me. They're stone cold killers. We all know that. Some people just deny it. But I went to one of my favorite websites, studyfinds.org. Easy to find, and they have great information, great stories. And one of the stories was this. Here's the headline. Half of Americans say their soulmate is their pet. When I saw this, I'm thinking, like, what does that mean? Best friend? Yeah, maybe. Soulmates? Soulmate to me suggests partner for life. Well, pets last how long? What's the average dog? 12 years old at the most. Cats, probably similar, maybe a little longer. So they're not there for life. And I've asked Carol Kane, who's, you want to talk about a dog lover, she's the expert. I think she has cats too. The investment in a pet, all the emotion, all the loyalty, all the love, knowing full well that in 10, 12, if you're lucky, that ends and you have either start over again or never have a pet again. So soulmate to me suggests something different. Here's the numbers. 2,000 U.S. pet owners surveyed. 53% say their pet knows them better than anyone else in their life. Is that really true? Better than anyone else? Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your lover, your partner, your husband, your wife? I don't think so. Nearly half, 45%, tell all their deepest secrets to their pets, and 72% swear their pets can tell them exactly how they're feeling at any time. I may say that about dogs. Here's the reality about cats. Cats could care less about you. Trust me, they got their own thing going on. Often, I know a lot of cat owners. Where's your cat? I don't know. We haven't seen him for a day or two. He's in the house somewhere. That's a soulmate? That's a buddy? That's a pal? No. That's a stalker who's living in your house rent-free who at any moment in time may claw you, sending you to the hospital. I actually know someone that went to the hospital as a result of a cat injury. So I'm not making it up. Melissa, you know what I'm talking about. According to respondents, 2,000 U.S. pet owners, pets can pick it up when you feel upset. 71% said that. They can tell when someone's outside the home. Yeah, dogs can. Again, cats could care less. Many of them have never been outside. They'd have no idea what's out there. And it's a cold reality for cats when they get outside, trust me. Some people say that 43% say they can tell when you're tired. Probably. 1 in 4, which is still somewhat startling, 25% claim their pets can even mirror their emotions. Most or all the time. I'm sad, they're sad. I'm happy, they're happy. Pets, I'm reading from the studyfinds.org survey, pets like to mimic certain adult traits, human traits. Eating together? No. Pets eat when they want to eat. They don't care when you eat. Who eats together with their pets? That's not a real thing. Most pets have a specific time that they have to eat. And if you don't feed them at that time, you get the stare or the tail wagging or the... Who knows what a cat does when it's upset? What does a cat do? Scream? What's the point of this? The more we get invested in pets versus people, as good as pets are, and I'm not a pet hater, trust me. I had a dog for 16 years. Love that dog. Beagle mix. Loved it. We're getting away from the people connection. Our synapses are firing in the wrong way. We're doing everything we can with the pet, for the pets, less with each other. That's my worry. So here's my homework. Take a good hard look at that pet. Ask yourself this question. Is that my soulmate? Is that really my soulmate? Or is that just something that lives here that I have to feed that lives rent-free? I may love that pet. And sometimes I may not like that pet, which is vastly different. But is it my soulmate? I say no. You're going to marry that pet? You're going to take that pet to Vegas? You're going to take that pet on a cruise around the world? No, you're not. Not as long as I'm on that cruise or on that plane. Don't like it. Pets are pets. There's a place for pets. I love pets, except cats. That is this week's Scaffidi-ology.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me every Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin, where we check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots around our great state. This week, we're joined by Road America's John Ewart.
You can watch from turn 1, you can watch from turn 5, you can sit under a shade tree, put your feet in green grass, and watch some world-class racing.
And Paul Rogers from the Milwaukee Air and Water Show. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at noon, right here on 620 WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
At Semper Fi, the path to self-improvement never ends. So it feels good to be good. It's been 20 years, and we'll make sure you feel like you made a great decision to have us work on your next exterior remodeling project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay, was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Oh, I've made the cat people angry. They are not happy with me. From the 262, Steve, we adopted our one-year-old cat 6 months ago. He never leaves our sight. He never hides. If you stopped over, he would greet you. He is my grandson's best friend. I love that. I love anything that's positive. So, well done you. You train that cat properly. But most cats are stone-cold killers, and they could care less about what you do. Trust me. For the 9-2, I've got 2 beagles. And yes, I would rather spend time with them over people. I'm disabled, and my dogs are my support mechanism. I also have 2 cats. They are constantly with us, except when it's time for bed. They each have their own spot in the house they sleep in. I'm not saying pets are bad. I'm saying soulmate, question mark? I don't think so. So if you make your pets your soulmates, what does your real soulmate have? What's their take away from this? Lori from Fond du Lac. I'm not a pet owner, but pets people sound like they have a relationship longer than most marriages. P.S. Cats scare me. There's some fear in there for me, too. Not a fan of cats. She sends me a picture of a cat filing its claws. 262. Now, here's something I can get on board with. 3 exclamation points. Stop allowing dogs in stores. Here's what's happening. There's a takeover happening in this country right now. You may not even realize it. Pet owners are changing the dynamics of stores, restaurants, airplanes, hotels, casinos. They're demanding, in many cases, the right to bring their animals, not support animals or comfort animals. That's different. Matter of fact, we're rewarding a officer with a comfort animal in our salute to service this year, which is first time ever. Great story. We'll tell that to you next week when we roll out our honorees. But I'm not giving in. I don't want to eat at a nice steak restaurant with a big lab sitting next to me at the next table. I don't want to. Even if he's the most obedient, quiet dog in the world, he's staring at me eating my steak, and I don't want that. All that pressure on me. Because the dog really wants to eat your steak before you eat it. That's not right. It's America. Take it back. No. Keep your dogs at home. Don't take them on vacation with you. Leave them at home. That's where all these great places, these boarding places, that's what they're all about. Your dog will have more fun. Sometimes, just like your kids and your pets will have a better time being away from you than they will have with you. I know that's tough love for some of you, but it's a reality that you should embrace. I am on fire today. I need 2 callers. Join me in a little something called That's What Steve Said. 5 questions that can change your life. Easy, I think, today. Easier. I shouldn't say easy. Easier. Never had someone get all 5 right. 2 callers. You will win a $30 gift card for the Mind Chef restaurant. Beautiful downtown Hartford. Also have a Highway 41 location in Oshkosh. 855-616-1620. After the news break, we are going to do That's What Steve Said. Always have fun. They're not that difficult today. 855-616-1620. $30 Mind Chef gift card up for grabs if you win that contest. And you can walk around saying, I won That's What Steve Said. I may even put that on a T-shirt at some point. 855-616-1620. We'll do that after the news, which is next on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
When big national banks make a decision, it requires many emails, phone calls, and plenty of video conferences from around the globe. When we make a banking decision, we do it over a cup of coffee in our office. Finding a local bank that's passionate about the community and knows your name is hard to find these days.
Good morning, Diane. Welcome back.
The search is over.
Waterstone Bank, proud to be your local bank for over 100 years. Love your bank as much as we love this community. Waterstone Bank, Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Washington County.
Member FDIC.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
You've heard about Purple mattresses. Try it before you buy it at Steinhoffel's.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 11:01, it is 60 degrees. Highs in the low 70s inland today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstad. Perhaps they will have to negotiate. Right now, the state Senate says referendum should go when it comes to shared revenue in the city of Milwaukee. We're talking about the shared revenue piece that would require a referendum for voters to pass sales tax in Milwaukee and in Milwaukee County. Yesterday, you heard the Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss, in the Assembly say that referendums would have to stay in place in Milwaukee, but now we're learning from the Senate Majority Leader, Devin LeMahieu, that no, the Senate would likely remove that provision when it considers the bill likely in early June. So what happens now? Voss, you may recall, said that there would be no more negotiating.
We are done negotiating. We are not going to take changes. We are not going to change the bill substantially. What we have before us is the deal that we are going to send to our colleagues in the state Senate, and hopefully Governor Evers agrees that this historic investment is worth signing.
The Senate and Assembly must approve the same bill, the shared revenue bill, before it would go to Governor Evers, who on Wednesday said that he was confident a bipartisan compromise would be reached. Voss telling the AP, though, that the Assembly will not pass a bill that does away with that referendum requirement for Milwaukee. A round of police officers' recruitment now taking place in Milwaukee on Friday. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman telling Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth that he's hoping for applicants.
It's not about you feeling like you actually are working towards something if you love what you're doing. You asked me why I'm still here. I'm 2.5 years past my retirement because I still enjoy what I do. But I know what I want to do at a young age.
Chief Norman says that they're looking for as many officers as they can that are qualified, but he doesn't want anyone serving on MPD who doesn't want to be there. In Washington, House Republicans will not have to vote on whether to expel New York Congressman George Santos.
Democrats in the House wanted to force Republicans to vote on expelling George Santos, but instead the vote will happen in the House Ethics Committee. Santos is facing 13 federal charges, including wire fraud and money laundering. He's maintained his innocence and pleaded not guilty and refused to resign, saying he's staying for his constituents.
I was elected by them to come represent them. I will continue to do that. I have not done my job since I've gotten here. I can chew and walk gum at the same time. I can chew gum and walk at the same time.
Santos says he will resign if the ethics panel recommends it. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
More than 1,000 pairs of shoes donated by Packers running back Aaron Jones. Many of them will be on the feet of young athletes in our area, as Jones offered 85 pairs to students at Milwaukee's Audubon Middle School in Milwaukee.
Hey, I'm not just playing for myself, I'm playing for the community as well.
It's called Yards for Shoes, a giving campaign where Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones donates one pair of sneakers for every rushing yard he has throughout a season.
Sometimes kids aren't afforded the same opportunities as others, and if you're able to even out the playing field for those kids and give them opportunities that they normally wouldn't have or whatever it may be, I'm doing just and doing the right thing and, helping them succeed in the future.
Tony Cartagena, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
You can give them the same old, or you can surprise them with something unique from St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store at a bargain. Almost new, but really cool. The thing about thrift store gift shopping is that you never know what you'll find, but when you find it, you'll know it's right. That's what makes it fun. And if you just can't choose, gift cards are always available at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions.
Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it is free. Coaches, managers, business owners. Check this out. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. You know how this goes. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. So bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, or tennis team, your club organization after practice, or game today for that free pizza. Your kids are going to love that world-class game room. It's fun. It's affordable. Team bonding, what a great idea. Bring in pizza for your loyal employees today. They're going to love it, and half your pizzas are free. You're going to love that. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Stop today for your free pizza with your family, with your employees. I love the pepperoni at the Mineshaft. It's the real deal. The Friday Cod Fish Fry is all you can eat. It's under $10. It's the best fish fry value anywhere. Order your pizza now. Pick it up shortly. Visit MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mineshaft.
Behind 5 scoreless innings from starter Matthew Liberatore, the St. Louis Cardinals take the game and the series from Milwaukee, this one by a final score of 3-0. The Brewers had a runner in scoring position in 6 of the final 8 innings, but went 0 for 8 with those runners in scoring position. With the loss, the Brewers fall to 24-19 on the season and will begin a 3-game series Friday in Tampa Bay. Over to the NBA as the Boston Celtics fall at home to the Miami Heat 123-116 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler continued his special playoff run, leading all scorers with 35 points. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is all set for tonight with Denver and LA. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Checking the roads now with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. 94 eastbound, Highway 16. Through the Zoo Interchange and into the Marquette right now is looking good all the way in. That's going to take you about a 17-minute ride. Heads up 4145 southbound, slow going again right around Good Hope and north of Good Hope as you're heading south from Highway Q into the Zoo Interchange there. Once you get to Good Hope, things loosen up a little bit once you have the road work you're dealing with there, but you are going to see some heavy slowdowns in that stretch. Right now we're looking at least a 15-minute delay there heading south because of that. So once you're through it, it'll quicken the pace for you, but for the time being, slow there before you get to Good Hope. 43 southbound Brown Deer Road into downtown. That's on time. That's 12. 94 northbound Layton into the Marquette is okay at 7. And in downtown Milwaukee, it looks like the intersection between 12th and State is now clear. This after a motorcycle hit a ambulance in that area. It looks like they've been able to clear that intersection.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, hazy sunshine outside today, increasing clouds this afternoon, highs near the lake in the mid-60s, inland temperatures in the 70s. Tonight, a cold front comes in, meaning rain showers and a couple of thunder showers, mainly while you're sleeping. Overnight lows will be in the 50s. Friday, could still see a few showers and thunder showers early in the morning. Only a slight chance for rain in the afternoon. Breezy winds and highs in the mid-60s. We'll start off the weekend mostly sunny with highs in the upper 60s. Sunday will make it into the 70s with plenty of sun, but we've got the chance to see an ammonia front come through on Sunday, a quick afternoon cool down possible. Monday, a little bit cooler, highs in the mid-60s with a partly cloudy sky. And meteorologist Kristen Crushing with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now in Madison, 63 degrees. Green Bay is at 70. In Waukesha, 59. Milwaukee, 60. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:09.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
Indeed it is. Hour 3 of the 3-hour requirement that when you log in, it's not log in. Well, some people log in into your computer and you stream the show, or you tune your dial. I'm actually going to a full 3-hour requirements. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I know it's unusual on radio, because let's be honest, most of that stuff's not worth listening to for 3 hours, but this is quality. We've covered the gamuts of conversation. I'm tongue-in-cheek. As my wife would say, put a pin in it. All right. So every Thursday at 11:08, check my clock, it's 11:10, a little late, we do something called That's What Steve Said, and today is no different. So thanks to the great folks at Mind Chef Restaurant, and oh, by the way, the magic of Thursday is Thursdays, buy one pizza, get a second pizza free. And their pizza's amazing. Whether you're talking about the beautiful downtown Hartford location or on Highway 41 in Oshkosh. Also, by the way, I think I told this story a couple weeks ago, their burgers are off the charts good as well, as is all their food. So today, we have 2 contestants. But before I get to any of that, let's play the exciting intro to That's What Steve Said.
It's time to talk about the topics that were vague.
That's what she said. Ha, I don't get it.
It's time to talk about the topics that were hard.
That's what she said. Or he said.
It's time to talk about the topics that had us saying...
That's what she said.
It's time for...
That's what she said.
No, it's time for That's What Steve Said.
I just say it to lighten the tension when things sort of get hard.
Thank you, Steve Carell. Let's meet our contestants. That's What Steve Said, Thursday edition. Gail joins us from Waukesha. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning. Have you ever played a show on my show before, one of our games on our show before?
Yes, I have. I've done a baseball game.
Nice. Virtual baseball sponsored by Siding Unlimited coming up tomorrow, 10:35. Thanks for that easy promo. Gail, tell us about Gail from Waukesha in 30 seconds or less.
I'm a retired RN. I worked in mental health for about 40 years, and I am distressed by what I see going on in society with the mentally ill today.
Yes, that's not only, one, thanks for your service, because that's not an easy job, but two, I'm with you 100%. Not only do we have to invest in helping people with mental health issues, but we got to be serious about it, and thanks for bringing that up. So let's meet our other contestant, Greg from St. Francis. Hi, Greg. Greg from St. Francis. Do we have Greg from St. Francis? Greg, where are you? Gail, you're still there, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, where's Greg at? We are patiently awaiting Greg's arrival. He's on the screen. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to be patient, but I'm not going to be that patient. So, Greg, We're going to give you like 30 seconds to a minute to answer your phone. And maybe you're taking another call. Maybe you're signing an appointment document. Maybe you're buying a home or selling a home. We'll give you a little allowance. So here's the rules as I lay them out. There's 5 questions. They're taken directly from my show. Gail and Greg, maybe Greg. Gail might win hands down because Greg's a no-show as of this moment. 5 questions, 3 possible answers. Only one is correct. I will give you all the answers, and then you pick, and then I will play for you what I actually said from my show to prove that's what I said, or in the case of the topic, that's what Steve said. All right, do we have Greg? Is Greg with us? Greg, call back. We're going to start with Gail. Gail, you're first up. Are you ready?
Okay.
I'm
ready.
All right, here's the question. Gail, you might win by default, but I'm more than happy with that because Greg is being cantankerous today, and I don't know what's going on with Greg. So here we are. I brought a little of my trip to Washington, D.C. with me home this week. What did I talk about? I think this was on, I did a little bit Friday, but Monday as well. A, Mount Vernon, the estate, the mansion, the history is one of my favorite places on this planet. B, I wish I was more excited about visiting the Capitol and the White House, but politics is just so frustrating right now. Or C, I tell you what, unless you've been to a Packers bar in our nation's capital, you're not really a Packers fan. What did I say? Gail from Waukesha. Gail says A. Greg, because is Greg with us? Still not with us. What is Greg doing? I don't know. Let's hear what I said. And I've said this over the time that I've been on the air at WTMJ. Mount Vernon, the estates, the mansion, some of the outbuildings, the history, is one of my favorite places on this planet. And I'm pretty well-traveled, been around the world, seen some really great things in Europe and other places. There's something about that history tied to our nation and the power of that story. Gail, you got that right.
Yay.
All right, so 1 for 1. No one's ever got all 5 right, Gail, so there's a lot of pressure on you. Greg is going to get a strike on that. So Greg's on the line, he's just not answering. Is that Greg's somewhere. So he's going to get that one wrong until he joins us, and then he'll have to fight an uphill battle. Question number 2, Gail. It's graduation season across the country. What advice did I give the new graduates? 3 possible answers, only one is correct. A, I have one word for you, plastics. B, here's an easy one. Don't live in your parents' basement, something I talked about earlier, but maybe not in this context. You'll have to decide that. Or C, have some fun, take a trip, and focus on something that you like to do. Gail, what's the right answer?
C.
Gail says C. Charlie, hit it.
It's a graduate.
Have some fun right after you graduate. Take a trip. A trip is one I would suggest because I'm doing a lot of traveling now later in my life. Enjoy a fun trip. Don't make it your whole existence because you got to get back to something. And just focus on something that you like to do. Did I seem angry there? I think I was angry for some reason. Talking about college graduation, should never be angry about that. Gail, you are 2 for 2. How you feeling so far?
Woo!
All right.
I feel good.
Greg is 0 for 2 because Greg is not answering his phone. Number 3, Gail from Waukesha. So 3 and 4 are both lawn-related questions. Did you hear me talking about that this week?
Yes.
Yes. Lawn care, big deal in my world. Gail,
right.
Question number 1 of the 2-parter, a couple of lawn-related questions, as I said. And I'm celebrating, of course, no mow May, but facetiously because I don't like no mow May. What was my take on grass cutting? Was it A, cut your grass, the grass tells you when you cut it, not the opposite. B, I've never met a freshly cut lawn that didn't prompt me to say, hello, beautiful. Or C, if you can get a haircut on a regular basis, you sure as heck can cut your grass when it needs to be cut. Gail, what's the right answer?
That sounds like a seed.
Gail says C. Let's see what I said. Here's the things that reasonable people expect when it comes to lawns. You cut your grass on a regular basis. As I often say, the grass tells you when you cut it, not the opposite. That's actually one of my mission statements, Gail. That I strongly believe that. That's why right now I'm cutting my grass twice a week. Twice a week.
Wow.
Excessive? Some people say it is. I say no. All right, 2-parter, as I said. I've had a campaign to get rid of no mow May. I'm not a fan. I understand the bees. I'm a grower. I get that. How did I describe these misguided efforts, my words, to save the bee population? A, I get what they're trying to do here, but like everything else today, this all or nothing approach is just dumb. B, no mo May is lazy May. That's all it is. It's being lazy. Or C, what do they call environmentalists? Tree huggers? Are we calling these no mo May folks bee huggers? What's the right answer, Gail?
How about A?
Gail says A. What is the right answer, Charlie? I'm sorry. No mo May is lazy May. That's all it is. It's being lazy. And we have enough laziness. We can't get people off their you-know-whats as it is. And now the one exercise that they may have done if they actually push the mower, they're not going to do that for me. I'm agreeing with myself, which is weird. All right, Gail, 2 rights. Easy to win because Greg is still not answering his phone. I'm curious what Greg's doing. What could Greg possibly be doing? Charlie, what is Greg doing?
It sounded like he was on the road when I answered the phone.
He's driving around with his phone connected to WTMJ and not answering our questions. Greg. All right, the 5th and final question. Gail, you have 2 rights. You are going to win, but we're still going to ask you the 5th question. Education rounds out our That's What Steve Said questions this week. What did I say about the state of education today? Was it A, you want to fix schools in this country? 2 things. More physical activity and a return to basics. B, if your kids are failing, giving them more class choices is not the answer to fixing that problem. Or C, maybe the answer is just start saying the word no to our kids more often. Gail, what's the right answer?
It's either A or C. Let's go with A.
Gail, good choice. Here's what I said. You want to fix schools in this country? 2 things. More physical activity and a return to basics. We see it in stories like City of Cudahy going to a phonics-based reading system. Applaud that like crazy. Couldn't clap louder for that. That's a reality that I think educators, school districts have to understand. Gail, you got 3 out of 5. That's not bad. That's not shabby.
Yay.
You are going to win a $30 gift card to the Mine Shaft Restaurant. Beautiful downtown Hartford, also a great Oshkosh location. How do you feel right now as the winner outright of our competition today?
I'm happy. I'm always happy to go out to eat. So thank you very much to the Mine Shaft.
Yes, they're great locally owned restaurant. And Gail, thanks for playing this week's edition of That's What Steve Said. Very unique because we've never had one where the other contestant was on the line but not answering. So here's what I'm going to do because I'm a giver. Thank you, Gail. I'm a giver. Greg, if you would like to redeem yourself, I'm going to hold a spot next week. That's what Steve said for Greg from St. Francis, where he can actually answer the questions. I think I'm being very generous because he was driving around with his phone connected to us but not answering the questions. That's what I'm going to do. That's this week's edition of That's What Steve Said.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
The Best Buddies golf outing is the hottest ticket in June. We can promise it will be a fantastic afternoon of golf, networking, and friendship. Share the day with friends, clients, or colleagues. Hit a few balls, miss a few balls. And meet some new friends along the way. June 12th at Ironwood Golf Course. For all questions or for sponsorship opportunities, contact Caroline Tyson at carolinetyson@bestbuddies.org.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. You've heard me talk about it, tossing and turning, restless nights of sleep, lots of snoring. My poor wife, Kathy, had to deal with all of that. I was snoring away, tossing and turning. That's not how you want to spend your sleep life. To put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I went to Advent, one of their great facilities, and in a quick 30-minute visit, they figured it out. Put me at ease. We did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed. They determined the root cause of my problem, sinuses, nasal passages, in my breathing triangle. I've said this before. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle before that. They did a short procedure in office. I'm back to breathing better than ever, sleeping fantastic. Again, last night, solid 9:30 to 5. Perfect. Uninterrupted. Dreaming of great things, talking about the show in my dreams, all that stuff. You want to find out what I found out, go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
All right, welcome back. Here's my quick look at my show poll. I wasn't going to do it now, but I'm going to do it now. Every day I ask a question, Monday through Friday. I'm not working on the weekend, so why would I ask a show poll? Although I have done one on a Sunday once just because I was so intrigued by what people might say. So the hashtag, we talked about it earlier, the hashtag parents charging rent on TikTok went viral. What did they say, 57 billion views, which I think is crazy. There's no way. How many people are on the planet? 12 billion, something like that, right? That doesn't seem right. But anyway, would you charge your child, adult child, rent if they moved back into your house? So I asked the question, couple possible answers. No reason to. 28% of you said that. Yes, of course, 26%. And the winner right now in the course, sure, if it's long-term, 37%, with over 200 votes. So thanks to each and every one of you who have voted for that. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Work out something. Parents should always look out for their kids, and there's always special circumstances, special needs, all of those things that need to be paid attention to. And the callers actually were fantastic. Parents sometimes collect the rent and then give it back to the kid unbeknownst to them later on. I love the idea. But we got to start teaching responsibility. And until we do that, we're going to have more and more problems and more angry people. And as I said earlier, we don't need to create more angry people. Even though if you listen to radio or TV, we seem to be in the active recruitment phase, I should say, of making more people angry. Work, not talk. Work, not talk. Listen better, be smarter. Leadership is hard. All great lessons of life. Was that a lecture? Maybe. All right, we'll take a break and get to a whole lot more. I've got a great question coming up for you. I'll tease it now. Should dead people have social media accounts? You're dead, you're deceased, you're not with us anymore, but you still have an active social media account that somebody is posting on. I'll give you my take. I'll get your thoughts, 855-616-1620. We'll wrap it around the bottom of the hour news, which will be coming up after this on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
It's time for amazing Memorial Day savings at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on everything you need for summer. Like 20-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed, just $15.99. 20% off all Coastal Pet dog and cat collars, leashes, or harnesses. And special buy medium pillow pet beds, just $13.99. Don't miss amazing Memorial Day savings on summer essentials in-store or online at farmandfleet.com.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 2.62 to 3.5 ounce spices or 0.77 to 2.12 ounce grinders, McCormick Grill Mate spices or grinders, 2 for $4. 64 ounce bottle Indian Summer Apple Juice or Cider, 2 for $4. 128 ounce bottle Hawaiian Punch Juice Drink, $3.49. 56 to 67.5 ounce bottle Extra Laundry Detergent, $2.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
As always, thanks for listening. However you find us over the air, online, stream, all that good stuff. Go to WTMJ.com. Find out so much about our great station, the flagship station, biggest stick in the States. Enjoy the back and forth that we've had today and a lot of different conversations, so thanks for taking the time to find us. I'm going to tee this one up, and we'll get to it after the break, coming up here for bottom of the hour news. Here's the headline. I got this from the Associated Press. Twitter is purging inactive accounts, including people who have died, angering those still grieving. So I'm going to broaden it a little bit, more than just Twitter. If you're on Facebook, I'm on Facebook and Twitter mainly. I also have an Instagram account I rarely ever post, usually pictures of my garden. Not very active there, and I'm not on TikTok or any of the other platforms. But I have noticed an increasing number of accounts that are still active. In some cases, people still posting where I know the person whose name is attached to that account is no longer with us. And the story, of course, has to do with Twitter and inactivity. But some people, not me, are making the argument that this is not fair to those individuals' memory, including one quote that says it helps, in this case, a woman remember her sister 10 years ago who passed, keep her memory alive, her direct quote. What do you think? I'll just give you I don't like it. And it is, in my world, a little bit creepy, especially 10 years, but I understand the grieving part of that. Anyone who's lost anybody knows what that's about. But to post things, that's a little bit of a stretch. Our news time is 11:30. From our Breaking News Center, here's Eric Bilstead.
Thank you, sir. Senate Republicans and Assembly Republicans in Madison are at odds over a key ingredient to the shared revenue bill. The measure, passed in the Assembly Wednesday, requires voters to approve a sales tax for Milwaukee City and County. But the state Senate says no. Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemonhew tells the AP today that the Senate will likely remove that provision and make some other changes when it votes on the bill, likely in early June. Robin Voss, the Assembly Speaker, had said yesterday that they are done negotiating. A neighborly dispute led to a deadly police shooting in Mequon. This happened near Bonnywell and Riverdale Roads Wednesday afternoon. A man exited his house, began shooting at officers. When they responded, officers had to fire back, killing the man. And Wisconsin ranks #1 in the country for most prescription medications collected during the drug take-back of spring 2023. The DOJ says the state collected more than 55,000 pounds of unwanted medication. Time now for news about your money in the WDTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Looking at the numbers right now on Wall Street, mixed bag. The Dow is down 125 to 33,295. The NASDAQ is up 97 to 12,598. And the S&P is up 8 to 4167. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Checking traffic now. Your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. 4145 southbound. Highway Q to the Zoo. That's been what we've been watching closely today. Some road work being done in that stretch again, so heavy delays from Q to the zoo. You're just going to be kind of crawling through that stretch, getting through it. Right now, at least 15-minute delays getting through to Good Hope Road. Once you're through there, once the barrels have cleared, you're good the rest of the way in to the zoo interchange, but it is going to take you some time there getting into that area and through that area. 94 eastbound, Highway 16 all the way into downtown. That's on time. That's 17. 43 southbound, Brown Deer Road into the city looking good at 12. And 94 northbound, Layton into downtown. Delay-free, 7 minutes.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top-quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
The WDTMJ 5-day forecast for the day today. Sunny and cooler. Chance for some rain tonight, a high of 66 degrees. Then for tonight, again, we're going to see some rain tonight as we have more clouds coming in, and those rain showers will continue through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. For tomorrow, some rain in the morning. Could see another little bit of rain later on Friday afternoon as well. As far as Saturday goes, sunny, a high of 67. Sunday, sunny, a high of 73. Another chance, though, for a temperature cool down quickly Sunday afternoon. That's possible. Then for Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 65. Right now, in Madison, 64. Green Bay, 70. Waukesha, 62. And in Milwaukee, 60. I'm Eric Bilstead. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I'm Susan Hiller with Howard Gleason from Hiller Ford. May is our anniversary month. My grandfather started Hiller Ford back in 1954. I'm proud to say that we've kept up with his belief in quality care and fair prices for our customers.
That's been proven by winning Ford's President's Award 18 times for customer satisfaction in both sales and service.
We now offer complimentary pickup and delivery for all our service customers. Stop in and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use. We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use. Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for 911 Heating and Air. No sales team, they don't need one. Fixed pricing is listed right on the website, so there is no hidden cost to you. They're experts at affordably overhauling your home's existing AC unit, saving you money. A passion for the craft, the warranty and guarantee, all work done. 143 Google reviews, 4.9 stars. It's 911 Heating and Air. That's who I trust. 911heatusa.com or call 414-HEATING. That's 414-HEATING.
I'm Susan Hiller with Howard Gleason from Hiller Ford on Highway 100 in Franklin. May is our anniversary month, and we're celebrating with some really great deals.
That's for sure, Susan. We've got brand new F-150s starting at just $49,995. We've got over 50 2022 and 2023 F-150s, all priced to move fast and ready to go.
You should stop in and take advantage of our great anniversary deals. And while you're here, find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I got to be honest, when I first proposed this topic, I didn't think it'd be as controversial as it has become, and I'm reading some of the texts. I'll read some of those, because as I've told you, this show doesn't hide away from texts that disagree with the host, which is a common problem in radio and TV, to be honest. So here's the story, and I talked about it earlier. The headline, AP, Associated Press, Twitter is purging inactive accounts, including people who have died, angering those still grieving. The story is this. A woman lost her younger sister 10 years ago. For most of the last decade, and I'm reading from the AP report, she visited her sister's Twitter page to keep her memory alive. So Twitter, Facebook, some of the other major social media platforms have become places where this is more commonplace. Now, they're not all active. And in the case of Twitter, Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, said they're going to take these accounts out. Those that are inactive. So people, as they're wont to do, because we are a country of people that like to complain about things, are angry about it. and they are accusing Twitter and other platforms of being insensitive. So I guess my question is, I find it somewhat creepy that people do this. Now, I know I'm not in the majority on this. I do know, though, as an observer of social media, the rise of these kinds of posts, these kinds of platforms has led to a lot of this. Memorial pages, in some cases active posting on an account of a person who's deceased, continue all the time. I'm saying, in some ways, it kind of creeps me out a little bit. I'm being honest about it. But I want to be sensitive to people who are making arguments on the other side of this, and I'm going to read some of those to you. Mary from Campbellsport. My daughter passed away at a young age, so we created a Facebook memorial page for her. Her friends and I can post on the page to share memories, to celebrate birthdays, and to just keep her in touch. It honors my daughter's memory, but it's a special memorial page. Now, that's different. If you're going that route, there is a place for that because they've set it up. That seems appropriate to me. Michelle from Appleton. My nephew passed away last summer, and his account is still active. His ex-wife always tags him when she posts updates about their daughter. Now, she's not posting on his account, but it's a way for other family members to be able to see the post. However, some people do post on his page, but mostly to say they miss him and love him. It might be weird, but it's comforting for me to know how much people still think about him. Thanks for letting me express myself. Great show as always. Thanks to Michelle. So I want to be fair on this. I just noticed there's a significant increase in the volume of posts and pages devoted to people who are no longer with us. There are days, and I'm not a huge Facebook user anymore. I post maybe once every 2 weeks. And usually something about the show or picture from my garden, stuff like that. I never use it for negativity. Not a fan of that. Even on Twitter. I will be snarky on occasion, especially with politics, but I don't demonize people for the most part. I will point out things I don't like because, I mean, that's what it's about, having an opinion on something. But on this one, is this where we're going to go? So the new version of a memorial on the side of a highway where a family member or someone you know was killed tragically, or taking the place of a visit to a cemetery, which is, as somebody who's a caretaker for a cemetery, I think is still important. Is this what it's going to be now? And I'm only asking the question because I noticed this trend is happening more often than I've ever seen it before. Here's another trend, and I'm not judging. The happy birthday announcements on Facebook or Twitter or other platforms for people who have been gone for many, many years. Just seems different to me. And I could be wrong on it. Again, this is an open platform. You can tell me what you think, 855-616-1620. I definitely don't want to be insensitive to anyone who's dealing with an active grieving process. But you're talking 10 years or longer. And especially when I see people tagged or active posting, when I know the individual is no longer with us. That's a different story. 855-616-1620. That is the old National Bank talk and text line. Join the conversation. Text, call after this on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These mattresses are the best, and you can get them for way less. Like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Or the Beautyrest Hybrid King Harbor Oaks was on sale for $3,099, but the floor model is just $854. Plus, save big on Sealy adjustable bases, originally marked $984, now on sale for just $392. It's like buying a Rolls Royce for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Selection is limited. Only a few floor models are available at each Hasseless location, and when they're gone for good. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Away.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee-only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interest compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively. Use as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
When we begin your search, I'm not going to try to sell you anything, because it's either the right home for you or it's not. What counts is that you'll have an honest, full-service realtor looking out for your best interests. So think of Benefit Realty as your advocates, which offer full-service real estate commission as low as 3.5% and no higher than 3.9%, including full MLS marketing with no upfront fees. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com. The savings really do add up. Last I checked, we've saved our clients over $7.5 million in real estate commissions, and we'd like to add your savings to the tally. All the same experience, expertise, and know-how as the big-name real estate firms. We just choose to charge you less, as low as 3.5% commission and no higher than 3.9%, or a full-service real estate agent, including full MLS marketing with no upfront fees. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I'd like to be under the sea.
Oh, an audio reminder, I have to give away those pair of tickets. Miller High Life Theater, September 30th. Ringo Starr, one of two surviving members of the Beatles, but a very talented musician, great drummer. At one point, he was considered one of the top drummers in the world. He may still be. Ringo Starr, 2 tickets to see him at the Miller High Life Theater. To caller number, let's go 5 today. Caller number 5 to 855-616-1620. One more chance to win tomorrow. Miller High Life Theater, Ringo Starr, pair of tickets. So good luck to all. Did we just lose Wendy? Well, I think we just lost Wendy. Wendy was going to make a point about an important point about our conversation about social media and people who are no longer with us. And she can call back. Wendy, if you want to call back, you can do that. We got a ton of activity now because of the giveaway. But Wendy's point was they're trying to close a relative's account, and Facebook won't let them do it. So this is the maddening thing about social media. This is a broader question I have. I have never seen in a platform that's so wildly popular and has been accepted by essentially everybody. We're handing over our pictures, handing over our privacy and our information with as horrible customer service as Facebook has. You couldn't get a question answered to save your life. And yet we just invest all of this, some people do, all their time and energy posting and reading these endless reels, mindless entertainment, which, well, that's a conversation for another day. It's maddening. My point on talking about this is simple. We are doing a lot of things in a much different way because of social media. We're reacting to each other differently. We're dealing with politics in a very shallow, superficial, highly partisan way instead of actually caring about what's happening to each other, to communities. Elected officials play this game now where they spend so much time on social media. I'm not sure they're doing a real job trying to outsnark each other, which is an exercise in futility because there's always going to be a comment coming back no matter how snarky or how smart your post was. Larry says this on the Old National Bank talk and text line on our conversation. Hey, Steve, I often post family history and stories on my Facebook page, and my daughter is my legacy on Facebook, so those stories are held permanently, hopefully for people to continue to share in the history of our family and, of course, my wisdom. Thanks for that, Larry. Jeff says, for my dad who passed away in 2015, I've done social media recognitions on his birthday and Father's Day by posting that I am watching his favorite movies or having dinners he likes, but I don't try and act like he's actually having a birthday. I don't fault people who do that. However, grief management is very subjective, which is a great point. And many of the texters who are angry at me for bringing this up say you can't understand grief, or you don't understand grief. I understand grief very well. I'm asking if this is the appropriate way to share that grief or to express that grief. That's a much different question. And if you're actually on Facebook or Twitter, you've seen the rises, more Facebook than any other platform. Maybe TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. The last thing I need is another social media platform to be involved in. There's so many posts now that are about people that are no longer with us, celebrating birthdays of people who have long passed, anniversaries. I get the grieving, I get the love. But I'm talking about posting that stuff on their old page, not your page, their page. That's different. Now, having mentioned the horrible customer service at Facebook, it's not surprising that these accounts still exist because they're not cleaning up the bad stuff. They're not cleaning up all the dead accounts, the inactive accounts. Diane says this, as Vinny said about social media one morning, I assume she means Vetrano, a net negative. Yeah, I've said this about social media. Too many of us are consumed by it now, and if you do what I do, or you're a media person, you kind of have to. And I'll probably be on Twitter as long as Twitter exists, but I am not going to post with the regularity I do now. And that use, those habits will change. And you want to see where this story is going when it comes to all of this, when you're talking about social media, and we were focused on the inactive people who have passed story from the AP when we started the conversation. Montana yesterday banned TikTok. Bandits. Now, there's a whole list of questions on how that actually is going to be enforced. But I have a fear that as much investment as people have made in something that's free for the most part, some people pay for Twitter now, the blue check, I don't. But Facebook's free. As much investment as people have in this, the endless watching of these reels, the constant posting, political comments, whatever it is. I don't think we are going to handle going backwards on social media very well. Why do I say that? Because we don't handle anything very well anymore. We can't even have a conversation about politics without yelling at each other. From the 414, every platform has settings that deal with legacy accounts. Everybody living today should set up their accounts whereby if they pass away and the account is inactive for a specified amount of duration, it gets closed automatically. Yes, amen to that. Richard says, there are settings in Facebook to allow someone else to take over a person's page in the event of their death. Again, not a fan of that. One of the principal reasons I'm not a fan of that is because unless that person has expressly said they want you to maintain their page in writing in a will, I don't think you have that right. I don't care how close you were to them. I just don't think you have that right. And you can say I'm wrong, but I don't think so. That's why we have wills. That's why we have documents that say what we would like to be done with our legacy after we pass. And isn't it amazing? I guess it's not amazing that not only do we have to define where our assets go, our house goes, who gets what, who gets our rings, who gets our jewelry, ad nauseum. But now we have to tell people, I guess, when I die, I don't want it to be alive still on social media. Whether my kid, my husband, my sister, my brother thinks it's okay. If I say no, that should be it. I think that has to be the standard. So I support what Elon Musk is doing here, and I very rarely agree with Elon Musk, trust me. But on this one, people have passed inactive accounts. It's got to go away. Grieve in a different way. Even in the era of social media, grieve in a different way. That's my take. You may disagree. We'll find out what Jeff's takes are on a lot of things after this on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Analyzing the best of the diamond from every degree. Brewers 360. Your comprehensive look at all things Brewers, on and off the field.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up!
Hear from Brewers reporters, announcers, and members of the front office every morning on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. It's Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
May is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that marks the start of sun, warmth, and joy. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the changing weather and adventures that may lie ahead. This is Jim Griffith. We have you covered with the marvelous service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
When big national banks make a decision, it requires many emails, phone calls, and plenty of video conferences from around the globe. When we make a banking decision, we do it over a cup of coffee in our office. Finding a local bank that's passionate about the community and knows your name is hard to find these days.
Good morning, Diane. Welcome back.
The search is over.
Waterstone Bank, proud to be your local bank for over 100 years. Love your bank as much as we love this community. Waterstone Bank, Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Washington County.
Member FDIC.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
When it's time for a new lawnmower, buying local is important. Purchasing one from Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment means you're well taken care of after the sale. Their knowledgeable staff handles the warranty and parts, can answer all of your questions, and is available to do tune-ups and repairs. Check out the impressive line of lawnmowers on display at the Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment showroom in Muskego. And tune in to the Fix-It Show this Saturday morning at 7, when an expert from Olson's will answer all your power equipment questions.
Why are you dressed like George Washington? I thought we were going colonial today.
No, we're talking about the colonial bedroom today.
The Colonial Collection at Penny Mustard is so versatile. It can be dressed up for a grand formal look, like me.
Or dressed down for a cozy, simple feel.
It also features hidden compartments to store your wooden teeth. The Colonial Bedroom Collection, with queen panel bed, 8-drawer dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at just $80.37 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Thanks to Charlie for producing.